Alright, hello everyone, how are we doing? Welcome to the OSC mid-season playoffs, how are we doing? Sorry, I thought this event was already on TL, but apparently it was not because what I saw was actually for an OSC event later today. I just didn't do my due diligence and I didn't double check on what it was. I thought it was for this event, so I didn't actually add it, even though I was probably meant to. But still okay to cast the games, I'm pretty sure, yeah, or just something for me to kind of look at more than anything else, to be honest. So, just got that fixed up, and we'll get ready to go. And we're gonna be doing our first half of. So basically, I got a bunch of games to cast for this week. We're gonna do 4 or 5 today, and then we're gonna do the rest after one of the WardiTV October groups on, I think, Saturday is when we're gonna do it. So we're gonna have a nice long stream on Saturday. So we're gonna either do 4 or 5 series today. Just depends how long they take. I don't know. They're from replays, so we can do kind of as many as you want. But I've got to take Ellie out, and I go out on Wednesday evenings, so probably aiming to go like 4-ish hours. So we'll do either 4 or 5 series, depending on how matches go. They are best of 5, so 4 series is a pretty reasonable amount. If we have some very long ones, I'll make sure we still get 4 in, no matter what. But if we're fast for some reason, we will just go and do a 5th series. If we're still fast after 5 series, we'll probably not do a 6th series. I'll probably just call it there because I do want to keep the series for Saturday as well. So, with that said, we are going to get ready to move on into our first match of the day, which is going to be Trigger versus Forjumi. So these are all replays, guys. These were all casted or all played recently. I'm not sure how recently these were played. I had to guess within the last week, basically. Otherwise, they would have been in last week's set of replays to be casted for the OSC mid-season playoffs. And why don't we have a little look at the bracket as well? This is an event that goes on and kind of, it is a pretty big deal. This is a $2,000 tournament, so there's money on the line here. This is a serious event. It runs over a long time. There's a big double elim bracket. Everything gets casted, and that's what's kind of really cool about it. And the winner gets a seed into the OSC Championship, which is really cool because the OSC Championship is one of my favorite events every year to cast. That comes around in January, and it's a massive kind of system, and the whole OSC system builds up into qualifying players in and getting them to that point, and then getting them through. So what remains in this tournament is Solo versus Cure. So yeah, there's Solo versus Cure. This one, and MaxPax versus Beyond. These 2 matches are the matches which are in the upper bracket semi-finals. You can see Solo beat Christiana, Cure Percival, MaxPax Gerald, and Beyond beat Harston. Knocking those guys down to the lower bracket. So that's our winning bracket. We will dip into maybe Solo Cure as that 5th series of the day. We are going to be starting out by focusing on the lower bracket matches, which are going to feature... we're going to start out with Trigger Jumi, so this one down over here, this PvP. And then Spirit Creator, Nikaract, GG Machine, and Skillus Sebastes. So we're going to guarantee do these 4 matches of the lower bracket and just get this tournament moved along around, basically. And then, like I say, maybe dip into the upper bracket a little bit. And then when we resume this tournament after Saturday's WardiTV October event, we're going to have MaxPax Beyond, as well as... actually, I don't know. I think it's probably MaxPax Beyond and then these 2 series or something. I'm not sure which one it is, but one of the, that's what we're going to be doing later this week if you want to catch more games from that. Like I said, that is most likely going to be on Saturday. Because I think that's what me and Helen agreed to. So I'm going to do a long day on Saturday. But yeah, that's what the bracket looks like. Like I say, we make our way through some of the lower bracket matches today. And we're going to start off with Trigger versus Forjumi in some PvP. So without any further ado, let's cast some games. Let's cast some games. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone is doing well. Thanks for joining us today. Hope you're all having a wonderful time. Hope it's been a wonderful week for you guys so far. As we get started here with our opening game of this best of 5. In the top left-hand corner, we're going to start things off here for the OSC mid-season playoffs broadcast today with the green Protoss player. This is going to be Jumi. He takes on, in the bottom right-hand side, bottom left-hand side of Persephone, the blue Protoss player Trigger from Basilisk, as we get this set up. Actually excited to see these 2 play. I think Jumi's kind of been on that up-and-coming kind of route for a while. And we know that Trigger can always be very good as well, can always be a very consistent player, so I do think he's likely going to come out and show us some fun stuff here as well. So expecting a fun little PvP. Obviously, Trigger comes in likely as the heavy favorite. Wonder if Jumi kind of plays like that at all. Wonder if he kind of plays anything that says like, hey, look, I'm a little afraid of the longer game. Maybe gets a bit cheesy. Obviously, PvP can very naturally be like that a lot of the time because of, well, the fact that it's PvP. That is just how it goes, you know, like I say, a lot of the time. So that would not be an unusual kind of methodology of the way that things go. As a couple gates come up, the assimilator coming by. That's going to be true on both sides of the map. So double gate, double gas to start us off. We do see it's going to be Jumi who takes the first step onto the map with this single probe. And begins to scout a little bit nearby, just checking for any nearby immediate proxies, anything that might kill him in the near kind of couple of minutes. And then maybe goes across the map from there. Or maybe even hides a pylon of his own and plays a little bit of trickery. Something which Jumi, I think, is going to bring in, personally, I think, a fair amount in this best of 5. I think he is going to crank into a couple of these kind of aggressively placed, or not aggressively placed pylon in this case, just a hidden pylon, right? You know, hidden pylon, and then from that hidden pylon you can kind of obviously proxy if you want to, and you can play mind games for later in this series as well. PvP, especially in the best of 5, does have a lot of that kind of building the story of the matchup, where what you do in the early games does impact, you know, how your opponent approaches it in the later games, right? So I think there's definitely some thoughts there. As the Twilight Cancel comes down, it's going to be a hidden Twilight to start us off, taking on the Stargate of Trigger, which goes into the main base. So he's going to get that drop straight into place right off the bat. As we get this going. So Stargate on the way through, Twilight Council building. We just have our probe moving around as well. Already bit of a rando question, but you're from Australia originally? Nope. I am, unfortunately, British. Forever. I've lived in the same place my whole life. I mean, I moved for university for a while, but yeah. I've lived here all my life, born here. Learned to play StarCraft here. Pretty much everything here. As the Stalker pulls over toward the bottom left-hand side, another Stalker coming across. As we have the Blink and a couple of Stalkers on the way up. Warp Gate on the way through. And we have ourselves the chance to get a little bit of something on the go. And the Oracle is going to be popping shortly. The Jumi Stalkers are in good position to hit the Oracle a couple of times. However, does that help you kind of actually stop it getting across the map? Probably not. Energy overcharge instantly. The Stalkers actually missed this completely too, and now the Oracle begins to go toward the upper left-hand side. And so just head this into the upper left. Going to get in toward the main mineral line in the next couple of moments. And we have Blink and the Warp Gate continue to come through. So, and to see the Oracle activating, a couple of probes going down. 4 workers killed immediately. Jumi going to send himself forward with the 4 Stalkers. He's building that Blink, so he's one base Blink, but if he loses so much economy, he's not going to be able to build all of... Well, he's not one base because he's building a gold, but he's not going to have the economy anyway eventually. Now he's just going to, send those probes to the gold? Commit to that against a battery here. He will not do much. He can't warp in anything right now, and that's the issue. He's going to get overwhelmed very quickly, and I actually don't think that Blink is going to do him any favors at all. I think he's going to be in a world of trouble as... This Oracle had so much energy as well. Is chase these probes all the way across the map, and I can't say that I think that was really the play. I don't think that that's how it's going to go, if I'm going to be honest with you all. I mean, the goal base is sighted as well, so Trigger knows what's up, and Jumi's just going to say GG. It's going to be a quick opening game, as things went a little wrong there, a little bit quickly. My voice doesn't sound traditionally British. I mean, there are people who listen to me and can literally pinpoint where I was born. Like, not just like the region, like the town. So, I definitely have an accent. It's just quite plain, and there's probably a little bit more about how I say certain words and stuff, so... Yeah, I mean, to be fair, my accent is much more, my accent is much more chilled out compared to the region of the UK that I'm from. But it's definitely dialed back a lot. But because I know obviously I've trained myself to talk like that a bit less, or a bit better as well. So yeah. Question from the YouTube chat: Wardy, how do I go about signing up for your open cups, such as the Mondays, for example? So the easiest way to find stuff like this is probably to use Wikipedia. So you go to wikipedia.net/StarCraft2. I'm going to show you guys this on screen. Hang on. First of all, let me just edit something. I'm getting player responses for the October schedule as well, so I just want to make sure I take note of that properly when I get the replies. Cool. Take a couple notes there. Yes, if you want to find the way to sign up to events, if you head on over to Wikipedia, which is just wikipedia.net/StarCraft2, or if you just search StarCraft2 Wikipedia, the best thing you can do is go to this right-hand side and go to, like, look at upcoming tournaments, because everything that's upcoming is listed here. You can filter it, so you can even add, like, lower tiers of events, for example, and stuff. You can, you know, oh no, there's no S tier tournaments coming up, But you can filter it down, like B tier has a lot of the open cups and stuff. And you can just be like, okay, let's have a look, and we go upwards. So, for example, the next WardiTV Open event we have is WardiTV Mondays 57. You give that a click, and the best thing you can... And every single one of these pages will have a bracket link. If it's an open cup, it will have a bracket link over here. In this little info box on the right, there's this link section. And this one here is the bracket link. So if you click on that bracket link, it will take you to the challenge page and the sign-up page for this Monday Cup. And then for Mondays, if you want to, you can basically just, you know, delete 57 and type in 58 to get to the next one if it's already made. But the reason I explain it to go through Wikipedia is obviously, like I say, you can really find anything that is on here. Like, there's no cup that we run that doesn't go on there. You know, for example, completed. So yesterday, the October qualifiers would have been listed on there as well on the upcoming section. So you could have clicked on this, you could have clicked on that, and that would take you to yesterday's bracket. As obviously, do that beforehand, you would have been able to sign up to the Open Cup. Obviously, if you go to an event that doesn't have like a sign-up page or like a page like that, for example, if you go to WardiTV TLMC 15, there's no bracket link because there's not an open sign-up. So that's the best way to do it, because Wikipedia has everything and it's consolidated, and you can also find other events that aren't just mine to play in as well if you want to. So hopefully that's a good answer. Alright, so we'll get ready to go, and get into our next map here, guys. Give me a moment. And let's kick into game number 2 of Triggered Dreamy. Sorry, I got distracted with the answering the questions. Perfect. You like my events? That's great. I don't have like a specific sign-up place though, you know. I don't have anywhere where like Wikipedia is the best list of places still for stuff that I'm doing. So I mean, I usually just post on TL threads, but I don't have like a Discord channel we post everything in anymore. Wikipedia really just has it all, you know. Obviously, we usually focus on pros, and pros know where to find it via Wikipedia and other stuff. So, and that's not to say that you're not welcome to sign up. Just I don't like have a consolidated place of like all the links to sign up. So Wikipedia really is just the best place to find everything, more or less. On the top left-hand side, we are going to have ourselves the Green Protoss player Jumi as we get into game number 2 here of the day. And he is taking on, obviously, still Trigger in the bottom left of Last Fantasy for map 2, because why not play one of the crazier maps in the map pool? Jumi actually lets this map come up in a lot of his series, actually, so not too surprised to kind of see it come along in this matchup of all matchups that we usually see. As we get this up and underway, I'm just going to see a couple of assimilators coming through the gateway building, probes coming by, and just trying to see what we're getting up to here. The assimilator is coming up. Next is coming down. One gateway going to go down here from Jumi over to that side as well. And we just have ourselves a couple extra gateways building on the front of the main base to get both of those up. Probe heading up to the top side. Okay, a couple of simulators all coming through. And we just have the cyber core building as well from Trigger, as you do have this probe from Jumi heading down in toward the main base right now. So getting that set up, pylon in the center. Get that put into place as well here for a few moments. Get everything on the way. And yeah, Nexus on the way through. The gate coming up. There's a couple of extra gates coming by as well. We just have this probe still journeying around for a little bit early that Cyber Core is going to finish very soon. And we are going to throw the Robo down here from Trigger. So Trigger going to get aggressive in this game too. To be fair, Trigger last game didn't really get aggressive. He just built an Oracle and found his opponent on the map. And hence not at home playing defensively. So we are going to have this time Trigger kind of up in the ante a little bit and up in the aggro and getting feisty in the early moments of Last Fantasy. Let's see what Jimmy does about it. Obviously fast expansion from him. And he's only just now finishing up the Cyber Core and the gate, so like really fast expansion from him. And that means that we're going to be very late to any sort of warp gate or anything that you'd normally see in this scenario. So this is going to be... yeah, this is actually going to be pretty darn rough as we get this going. Yeah, guys, if you want to know what maps or what matches are coming up on Twitch, if you type !V, the bracket link will tells you the list of matches we're going to cast today. So it's Trigger Jumi, Spirit Creator, Nikaract GG Machine, Skillus Sebastes, and then if we have time, we'll do Solo vs. Secure as well. But if anyone else asks if you throw the bracket command in for them, appreciate it. We're going to see there's a couple of Stalkers that are going to go after the Sentry, actually going to be able to get that kill, so Sentry goes down. The Stalker's still being chased away. Have ourselves the Immortal and a couple more Stalkers still coming up. It's 2 Stalkers at a time right now. Like I say, it's going to be a major issue just getting supply up here from Jumi. With that fast expansion and Trigger looking to immediately just punish. And Jumi, I honestly think, is already in a little bit of trouble here on Last Fantasy. Let's see. He also has the worst spawn as well. These patches are not as good and not as efficient, so that will eat into his potential ability to afford a defense. This Immortal shows up. There's nothing to fight this right now. The battery is already drained of energy. I do not actually know where we're going to go with this in the next couple of moments. Immortal gets rid of the Stalker. A few pros will begin to go down. I mean, this is going to be a very comfortable cleanup as we just see the Immortal, a couple Stalkers still gathering together. It's going to get rid of the Sentry as well. GGG's, and that will be that. And Trigger will take game number 2 of this best of 5. So Trigger just showing up with the right build at the right time and getting the right thing done. That is going to be a 2-0 lead for our favorite Protoss in this series, in fairness, but in very kind of quick fashion so far. We'll have a look and get into... we'll just get in game 3, guys. These are replays, so we can just dive into the next one. If we've had a quick game, we can just shrug it off, get straight to the next. In the top right hand side, we're going to have ourselves the green Protoss player. This is going to be Jumi. Taking on the blue Protoss in the bottom left hand side, we have got ourselves Trigger. Obviously leads 2-0 in this game. It's Jumi on the map early with a probe. Ancient Cistern. The map pool here, guys, is the OSC map pool, which is an extended version of the ladder map pool. So the ladder map pool is there, and you have 3 maps added in each OSC season, and those 3 maps are part of the extended map pool, and hence we get a few different maps. Ancient Cistern being one of them. As you know, a weird series so far, and apparently it's not getting any more normal as this game 3 opens with the potential gateways going down across the map in these early stages. We look to get that set up. 1 gateway, 2 gateway, coming straight into play. We'll take a step back and even drop the Forge as well. So 2 gateway Forge, as cheesy as you can really get in this matchup, as we now have the probe taking a step forward and in toward the bottom left-hand side. A couple of simulators will come through on the side of Trigger, and obviously he's just opening very standard double gateway. That's a good starting point for him. We'll see how he manages the defense as the probe gets a pylon going in the low ground. That's going to be the cannon support to start pushing into the high ground here. And we are going to have him, I guess, a little bit of probe nibbling going on. That's going to be in favor of Trigger, I believe, is a little bit faster there as he drops down in Cyber Core, but is yet to see what is truly coming his way. As this probe, but Jimmy might want to get out and... I mean, I would assume build the cannon soon. The Zealots are on the way right now as well. First 2 Zealots coming up. I mean, this can't be going better, really, for Jumi, because Trigger has no idea it's coming. Man is completely blind to this situation, and there we go. Walls his opponent in, starts the cannon, and now you've got to try and figure this out. Obviously, Trigger, love the pylon over here. Protect your production. Getting that extra pylon up means that when this pylon goes down, you're still going to have access to the gateways, and the ability to produce will still remain for a while longer. And then start building sentries. I mean, sentries are smart because they will essentially just shut off anything trying to come up this ramp. But the question will be, will it be enough Actually, you know, reasonable question, like, do they have the damage output to really make the rest of this work? 2 cannons on that low ground. We're going to start putting cannons on the high ground as well, so Jumi will continue to set this up. It's a nice pylon, force field protecting the pylon. Sentry taking some damage, but hey, the 2 sentries together. You know what, if the other Zealot was over there, it would have been nice, but because of the force field, the Zealots do not have free access to wherever they want to go. Now the battery finishes up from Trigger as well. Gets another sentry out. Again, force field should stop this from ever being too many units for him to manage at once. The battery is going to go down. No, the other battery in the back comes in and saves the forward battery. My goodness, that is, I mean, this is honestly just a very good defense from Trigger. Honestly, it's a very good defense from Trigger. Wow. I never really thought about the sentry defense. I don't even know if I've seen this since those sentries do extra tickling damage to shields. But this is kind of a fun about build, and this may just be why, because sentries are actually pretty good early in the game nowadays. Just their damage output is good in PvP because of that shield damage. That is, wow, that's actually quite spectacular. What a defense! I'm amazed at how easy the defense looked. Is what I'm really kind of getting at, right? And like, it was a little bit clutch, yeah. Like this battery got saved last second and so on, but like it started off so cleanly, and that's why the rest of this all works out, because the beginning of it was just so clean. Now we've got one Stalker finishing off that Zealot. GG, well played. Good luck next as Jumi, and we are wrapped up in what was like a sub 15-minute best of 5. We're only half an hour into the stream because I've stopped around and yapped a whole bunch. That is fast. Alrighty guys, well that was our first series of the day. Sorry, I just got a couple of player messages about, like I said, I'm trying to organize the October groups, so I'm just trying to get the scheduling sorted. Cool. All right. Well, our next series is coming up in a minute. We'll give it a minute for some ads, but like that was just a blast of a starting matchup. Our next matchup is going to be Spirit versus Creator, which I actually think is one of the better matchups that we have on the lineup today. So we're going to go into this as we go into this next round. So Trigger just moves on through. He'll play Christiana, and then finally free himself potentially from this PvP section, the lower bracket, in the OSC mid-season playoffs. And like I say, we will go Spirit versus Creator, Nikaract versus GG Machine, and Skillus versus Sebastes, and that will basically clear out the first round of the lower bracket that's shown on Liquipedia, and get this tournament moving along nicely. There can't be that many more days of this tournament, so if we do 3 more matches, do 1, 2, 3 more matches, or 4 more matches, then we're basically gonna have what, like 1, 2, it's like 3 more days of streams for this tournament as well. Yeah. Cool. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alrighty, guys. Let's get into our next matchup. Spirit vs. Critter, ready to go. Sorry, like I said, I'm just getting some messages from players and just trying to get some things sorted. Ryung Cham's not going to be today. I don't have in the list of matches that were given to me. So yeah, we don't have that one. But I'm not sure if we have that in the matches we're going to end up doing on Saturday or not. But I'll have to check later. I don't well, it is all spoiler free, so I can probably check actually. So I can check that later if you guys are interested. I've been thinking about your discussion about buffing disruptors. What about adding a slow like concursive? Maybe make it a bit shorter. I just think you're gonna like it. Just the problem with that is you're starting to make things extremely complicated, and suddenly like if disruptors slow things, is that extremely OP in certain circumstances, or is it just completely useless in others? I think it just I think the problem with that is it just creates the exact same issue of the disruptor right now, which is that when a disruptor connects, you need to have the units to be able to follow up on that connection. And I don't think a slow, because the disruptor hits from so far away a lot of the time, right? I don't think the slow is necessarily going to give you unless you make the slow extremely insanely good, which would probably be then busted. Because what if you disrupt a shot and then follow with more disruptor shots, and then you're slowed and you can't split from the next ones? The problem with slowing and stuff as well is that it's a very unfun mechanic to be on the receiving end of, right? Anything that slows you down, anything that slows you down or stops you or throws something across your keyboard to accidentally press the pause button on the replay. These are all very unfun mechanics, right? Like, fungal growth is not fun because in the past, when it just locked you in place, it took away your ability to play the game, right? So if you get hit by a fungal, you can't do much about it. So I think the more we have mechanics like that, the worse it is. Marauded concussive shells isn't so bad because, like, it doesn't remove a lot, like, it slows things down, but in the grand scheme of things, like, it's mostly early game, it can be super frustrating. Like, yes, it's useful later, but it's useful at a point where it's like there's never enough Marauders to hit everything, right, a lot of the time, so... Yeah, I honestly think the Disruptor just needs a number tweak here or there, to be honest. But yeah. You gotta stay away from things that just make the game unfun to play with, right? And, like, you know, anything that restricts movement and so on like that is very unfun typically. Like, you could say Interference Matrix is pretty unfun too, and I kind of agree, but you can kind of... The thing about Matrix, for example, is you can kind of see the Matrix flying, and so if you're quick, you can unsiege something or move it already. And a lot of the time it disables its attack, but it doesn't disable its movement unless it's like a sieged up tank, right? So... yeah. I don't know, like I said, I'm not really I'm not a big balance guy, to be honest, but I honestly don't know, like, how much the Disruptor really needs to. Maybe just a bit more damage. I'm still in the camp where I truly believe, I just believe that Disruptor shots one-shotting things are not good, and I actually think more expensive units should be hurt heavily by Disruptors, but not killed. So I'm kind of okay with, like, what Disruptors do, but maybe make them just a bit more affordable or a little bit more easy to kind of splash into your army. I think a change in that direction is all it really needs, if anything, so... You know what would be interesting, right, is imagine we did it the other way around. Imagine you started with the Disruptor that did damage like it did now, right? And then you improved the Disruptor to one-shot a bunch of units such as Roaches, Marauders, Ghosts. People would lose their absolute minds. Like, can you imagine the response if the Disruptor didn't one-shot things originally and then was made to one-shot things? People would think this is the most broken thing in the game that could never possibly occur. The only reason that people are okay with it one-shotting things is because it started out like that, right? So... And then you can argue Disruptors are useless because people just split against them, but, like, that's just micro. That's what makes the game fun. You just need the Disruptor to be cost worthy enough to still throw in, even if it's not one. So I don't think it has to one-shot stuff. I think maybe it just needs some cost adjustments if we are going to change anything with it. I don't even know if we need to right now. Making the Nova explode on contact with the first enemy unit or after a really small delay would be more interesting. I mean, you're basically just going to make it useless, right? Because Terrans would just split a single Marine into your Disruptor shot, and it's like, oh no. I actually think that that's less micro-heavy than right now, where the players split against the Disruptor, and you've got to try and guess where they're going to split to. Because right now, Disruptors are actually very microable units. You see a lot of the time that Disruptor shots are just forgotten about, or they're thrown into the center and you don't preemptively think about where the opponent might go. So it's a little bit of a guessing game, but I think you could actually be good with Disruptors. I reckon there's definitely a skill level with Disruptors where you're like, hey, usually he's going to split like this, so if he splits like this, I'm going to aim my Disruptor where he's going to split to, right? Last second or something. And that's definitely not easy to do, but it means there's a lot of skill cap potentially. I just don't know if that's really been explored with Disruptors. Maybe it's unviable. There's a lot of things to think on. It's extremely hard to get value on it versus Clem. Well, I mean, it's extremely hard to get value versus Max Pax's Blink Stalkers, right? Because Max Pax can micro his Stalkers like a freaking god. Does that mean that we should change the way that Stalkers work? Or change the interactions with Stalkers? Because Stalkers can be microed efficiently as well? Or Bio can't kill Stalkers? Do we need to change Bio? That's the thing that it comes to. The best Terrans have to split against it, but if you make it more affordable and you make it more usable, then what happens is that them having to split against it is a cost of micro and a cost of attention from them. And then you get yourself that kind of chance to maybe take advantage of that or something, right? It's, that's the thing. It's just making it a bit more affordable, maybe. Anyways, we are in-game with Spirit and Creator. This is a nice chat, and this was a nice stim pack, but it is... Oh, it's going to be saved! The SCV is actually good on the repair. Yes, there wasn't really a lot of damage output there, so we are going to save the stim. That's nice. Obviously, better to have stim than not have stim. As we'll drop a couple of zealots to the low ground. The SCV on the command center will go down. And that will be picked off. The Reaper was nerfed because of Bjorn. Yes, but everyone was also playing Reapers. Bjorn was the best with the Reapers, but everyone else was also still using Reapers as well, And the thing with the Reapers is, the thing you've got to think of is that it depends on what sort of broken it is. Bjorn could use Reapers, and it was never wrong to use Reapers. And, something like Massing Reapers in the game of StarCraft 2, something like Massing Reapers is meant to be, a fun kind of splashy build. Reapers are not meant to be able to be used to harass, defend Roach Roll-ins, defend Ling Bane. It's not meant to be that kind of build that has no counter to it, because the micro is just able to kind of beat everything, right? Is what it comes down to, I think. And again, that's more of a build order thing than it is a later in the game kind of thing, right? The reality was, if you made the Reapers, there was no good way to play against the Reapers, But Mass Blink Stalker is okay. Yeah, because Mass Blink Stalker, you can play against it and play defensively and play safe, and it's fine. Or you can do certain things that will kill Blink Stalkers, right? The thing with the Reaper build is that the Reapers were beating the hard counter to Reapers. There was nothing you could do to knock the Reapers down. There are absolutely things you can do to beat Stalker armies. Stalkers are not at the point of Reapers where, sometimes Stalker armies look unkillable, and it's oftentimes because damage was done early, Zerg didn't make units in time, the Terran didn't get the tank in the right position. We don't see Blink Stalkers dominating games non-stop, and winning games straight out, and winning against every build that throws against it blindly, Are they a core unit composition? Yes. Are they something you build a lot of the games? Yes, they are good. But the Stalker armies in themselves don't win games. Decisions and plays in the game are what win the games, Let's do attack coming through. Guardian Shield popping up. Stalker Colossus. We're going to try and step through. A couple of Colossies. And then hit some shots in. Marine's going to take some damage. Vikings are firing away. Prism going to load up, and Colossus jumping in there. We're going to get a few more Stalkers warping in too, +2 attack. coming up as we speak, as we step forward. Marine Marauder Viking all coming around as you pop a Guardian Shield up. Viking's going to go in after those Colossus. Credit with a big push here, shoving in. Doing a great job commentating this game, haven't we? We've done a great job of commentating this one. I've got no idea why we're in this state of game at all. We killed 20 SCVs. We're going to get rid of those couple of Vikings, which means one Colossus will live, albeit on low HP, but for now that will be safe. Watermine coming up. It's going to be seeing the connection on a Stalker there. And we drop some force fields down. The Colossus goes down, but the gateway units that remain here are seemingly plentiful. And it looks as though Kratos is going to grab himself an opening game victory against Spirit in this best of 5. Going out to the left-hand side, going to knock down a Sun Star as we go. Orbital Command will come into play. The Zealots are going to get busy on that orbital as well. So we're seeing the Zealots still going to keep on trying to fight. A few of the Marines and Marauders going down. Zealots get up in front. GG is called, and Creator takes game 1 of the best of 5. Wouldn't a single air unit kill Infinite Reapers? Yes, but you can't have air units. You can't have air units, and if you rush Spire, you die because the Terran sees a Russian Spire and hits you with 3-rack Spire off the back of the Reapers. At the end of the day, there's a lot of complexities into, like, you can't just say, like, well, you know, Bjorn got Reapers nerfed and be like, so Clem should get Disruptors buffed. It just doesn't really work like that. Like, there's a lot of other things that come into play that decide whether something needs changing or not, right? And at the end of the day, like, Clem still has to split against Disruptors. Like, he still, even that, and I think that's what it is even when the best players in the world played great against Reapers, Reapers were still advantageous, right? Clem does make mistakes against Disruptors. He has to spend attention on those Disruptors because it happens at a part of the game where you can't just be like, well, that's it. He can counter Disruptors every time. The game is too deep to have that same kind of comparison, I guess is what I'm trying to get at in the end. You got Booty off the waiver. Oh, yeah. I haven't even looked at the waiver, man. I have a serious running back issue. Like, my running backs suck D right now. Like, it's miserable out here. Like, my running backs are meant to be good, like, my running backs are meant to be good running backs, and they're just not, and it's like, it's a thing, and it's a painful time. It is a painful time to be me in this league. I swear down. Dun, 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 dun. Man, someone got. How come I lose every single waiver? Someone got everything I needed. Crazy. Crazy. The Colts defense? Who are they playing? Oh, the Titans. Yeah, it's kind of miserable. It's kind of miserable. I need a kicker as well. Unbelievable. Alright, guys, just waiting for some ads and we'll be into game number 2. My running back situation is just sad. The next 2 weeks in fantasy, I actually have just so many buys as well. I kind of need to be better than 4-3 going into the next 2 weeks. I'm in trouble. Yeah. Alright, guys, like we said, about 30 seconds. We'll go. Spirit creator game number 2. So creator gets the game number 1. I think we can get started. We've got 30 seconds on the ads. Let's jump into this and let's get this one rolling on Hecate. The top right hand side. I love this map, by the way. I'm actually glad this one's in the extended map pool. I'm very happy to see this one make a return. In the top right hand side, we're going to have ourselves the blue Terran. It's going to be Spirit. As in the bottom left, our red Protoss is going to be Creator. Alright, getting ready to roll on this one as we come up and get online. We get this on underway. Chance to see what we can get up to here for the next few moments. See the Proby coming across, gonna step on through. Moving by for a couple of moments over on this direction, so taking a couple of seconds to step on over here. Probe nibbles up. SCV won't take a little bit of damage. And just going to be having the probe coming around. So we take a couple of moments. You get settled in. Just a little bit. Chance to see where things are going to go over these next few moments. Probably just going to hang out over on this side, command center and the bunker on the way out of factory on into play as well. So bring all of that up and running, try and get that through for a couple of moments right now and see, like I said, exactly where we're going to go over the next little bit of time. That bunker will give you a bit of safety, and these couple of Marines will be able to fight against this adept with the bunker to jump into as well. You should be fairly safe here to make a little bit of a dive through and to go from there. Those Marines really want to get after that adept, so find a little bit of a chance to come through already. Marine is going to come back over. And a couple of SCVs come up, the starport's on the way. Tech Lab building, Dark Shrine building on this proxy, so it's going to get aggressive here from Creator. He's going to get that Dark Shrine on the go and getting that set up right now. We just have ourselves the gateway probes and the warp gate all coming through. Add a couple of SCVs and the starport on as well. And just have ourselves the Marines and the Hellion going to get through there, fight against the Adepts for a few moments. Marines can jump back into the bunker. And they're going to jump straight in there, jump back out, hit the Stalker now as we continue to hit the couple of Adepts. So the Adept taking some damage, Stalker taking some hits. It's a lot of cleanup, and Marines just going down. We have no Marines here just now, and that's obviously awkward. 2 SCVs, multiple Marines dead. There's going to be one more SCV. The Adept shades away safely. The Stalker can walk away, and that is a horrible start for Spirit. He's now going to have DTs hitting him in the face, and he's obviously going to feel like the need to just drop mule after mule after mule. He's being held back. He has no information in this game. He saw a Twilight Council, but that is it. So he's got no info as to what's coming his way. He needs to make sure that this 50 energy from this orbital does not become a mule. And like I say, right now it's super tempting to drop that mule down because you're in a position in this game where you're kind of poor. Let's see what he does. He's got selected, doesn't drop it. I think he is indeed playing safe. No! So as soon as I say he's playing safe, he waited until like 5 energy after DTs are going to walk in, and now if they split up, it's going to make this difficult. We could probably start Raven. Okay, good deeper raise is going to block the DTs from getting in. That means we only have a, the low ground here to really discuss, as we're going to pull SCVs to keep the main base, so we want to make sure we can just scan one location. That will be our goal. This is horrible. 7 SCVs dead. We do run up the ramp, just split the DTs at this point. There's not even really enough units. We do have a scan, but like I don't even know what's going to kill the DTs. Like I don't know what's going to do the damage. Now we scan the few Marines behind the... I mean, this didn't need to go down. This DT here could have ran away up top and probably been kept alive, so maybe a little bit of a missed opportunity. SCV is going down. Marine step up, Stalker goes down. Nexus is going to continue to build. Archon in the blink coming through is, I mean, at this point, Chris just had a fantastic game. It was already very good for him before the DTs, and then the DTs, a little bit of icing on the cake. The only thing is it was an investment, and Blink is now on the way, so we don't have a lot of the tech you'd maybe typically have, but I think he's still kind of fine unless Spirit can... Unless Spirit wins with, like, a stim of Marines with stim and combat shield. Find that Archon, so that's a freebie. Marines, about to have stim, by the way. Doesn't even need it to get rid of the Prism there. Now one Archon takes damage. Okay, is there a chance to win on the counter-attack? There is a chance. Obviously, DT doesn't do anything here either because you've got the Raven for protection. I mean, Spirit needs to do some work, but he's double army supply. There's a genuine chance. Stalker tries to go after the Raven for a few moments. Marine step forward. I mean, battery's already heavily drained. Order turret to just tank a little bit. We run away. I mean, I don't know why the DTs are still DTs. Maybe because we're waiting for this exact moment. Now we scan preemptively. We're just going to go after the pylon and Spirit. How much can we do? I feel like hitting the pylon right now is one of those moments where it's like, let's go and actually kill something meaningful. Turn around, get both Immortals. It's going to be a whopping of a DT that'll get cancelled by the pylon dropping. If we do finish that off, the Immortal will go down. A Siege Tank shows up. Creator does not have units defensively, guys. He is going to die. At the same time, there's still a DT cross now causing absolute chaos. He has 10 army supply, and he is not able to fix that problem. Blink is about to finish by this point, 4 gates. Okay, I mean, he can warp in a fair few units. He warps in another DT as he's probably aiming just to force, like, scans to be, force the scanless kind of situation, essentially. DT gets a couple of shots off, gets a couple of swipes. We do have a scan, no? Oh, he just used it at home. Okay, so he doesn't have a scan against this DT right now. So DTs are basically the answer. They are the one thing that can save you here, but only until there's a scan. The moment there's a scan, this is just not really effective anymore, and the DTs don't deal with the libs. Yeah, I'd love that. Just load into the medevacs and just wait. Just wait for the scan. Oh my god, stop dropping in the DT Spirit. What are we doing? Scan available right now. Just needs to get enough Marines unloaded, and now obviously wants to make sure that the DTs are nearby when he actually does scan as well. Drops another stim, scan, get the Dark Templar. They're in Liberator range. Both of them go down. And I think that is probably going to do it. 42 to 6 army supply in the game. I mean, DT across the map still getting things done, but there's a new Raven. And Creator, this game started so well for him, but he needed a defense against the one push that Spirit did have left in him in this game. And it is actually going to be good enough from Spirit to get GGs and to get game number 2 and actually tie us up in this best of 5. So we are tied up and ready to go to a game 3 then. That is a little bit of a surprising result. After the way that it started, it definitely felt as though we were heading toward a very miserable existence for Spirit, but we get back on track and we get ready to go. Game 3 coming up here now in the next moment or so. Get this going as we're tied up 1-1 in this series. Let's see what we got. In the bottom left-hand side, we're going to have ourselves the blue Terran player. This is going to be Spirit. Taking on the red Protoss. In the top left, Creator. Game 3, and yeah, getting into a bit of a spicy series then, because Creator obviously mixed it up heavily in that last game. Interesting to see where we go on this next one. Chrono boosting and getting settled. Take a few moments here and just have our probes coming about. Gateway in the assimilator coming through. Getting the Assimilator coming up, Rax and the Refinery coming online, the SCV in production. We'll see the probe of Creator starting to move out onto the map for a couple of moments, getting a journey going for now. Okay, we will finish soon. Barracks very much so on its way in. Just going to see that SCV popping up as well, so we get all of that coming by. Probe Rax coming online, and that probe is about to arrive to the main momentarily. Well, Cybercore coming up, the Nexus building. We get going here on Persephone. And Factory Refinery coming online. Just going to see the Command Center coming up on the natural. So we take a few moments. And we drop a little pylon down. So once again, Creator looking to maybe be a little bit aggro in these early stages. We're going to Chrono Boost up the gateway to begin with. The Nexus coming online. And that factory is going to be finished in a few moments to get that factory completing. As the reactor comes in, we'll see where we can go. The Adept is going to begin to shade out onto the maps, making a bit of a move. Probe coming up the sides. And Adept and Warp Gate both building into play right now. Those gates coming straight up. Seeing where we can go to. The Adept heads down. Obviously, again, look to hit that command center on this natural here. As the Adept chases in, SCV will be in a little bit of trouble. Full of shots, and we do save it with the command center completing, so keeps it alive, jumps out the other side, lets the orbital begin. Adept will stick around, but 3 Marines are good to pressure back. It's going to be the extra gateway and taking us to 3 gates that obviously is the real danger here, and that's what we've got to be careful of right now as Spirit. If he is not prepared against the triple gateway play and aggression, this game can fall apart extremely quickly for him. So he needs to be on point, ready to play defense. Realistically, probably needs the bunker more than anything else right now. And the fact he is skipping out on that bunker is not a good sign. He does have a Cyclone. He's probably going to go out onto the map, and that may force some units onto the other side. That might help. But this has potential to really be a very explosive game, because if we're going across the map with multiple Cyclones in the medevac, and we have no bunker defensively at home against the triple gate, then we likely do have an issue. Stalker's pressuring, forcing Cyclone lock-ons to be wasted. The bunker begins now. That might still be in time to really save us from this. The gates are ready, but not doing anything just yet. Inactive. Robo will finish behind this as well, as Creator looks to follow up with his robotics facility there and add some Robotech into play as time passes by. Cyclone to the low ground, a few Marines gather together. And again, we start to chase forward for just a few moments as this medevac loads up. It's going to be one of the Cyclones and 4 of the Marines across the other side. Like I say, that should force a warp in, or we just pull back. 3-gate pressure that never goes anywhere. I mean, basically, maybe just seeing the Cyclone, he already said, nah, Cyclone's a bit too much for me to fight against, so he just gave up on it. Now goes Double Forge and Robo Base, so a lot of greed from Creator on the outside of this. I'm actually a little bit afraid. Spirit starts to build a Banshee and a tank. There's a very real possibility, right, that you play a very, very aggressive push here as Spirit, and Creator is just caught on his way to so many things, but doesn't really have any of it set up. Like, if Spirit pushes, there's no way there's going to be 1-1 completed for Creator. There's maybe going to be a single Colossus out. That's not going to matter if tanks can siege. There's not going to be Colossus range. So the Colossus are going to be pretty exposed to siege tank fire, if nothing else. I think Creator is, I think this push of Spirit has some potential. If he pushes, he may not. He's adding 2 more barracks as well for follow-up. He doesn't have a ton of Marines, so yeah, he may just be looking for a later stage of this game himself. Yeah, I mean, like I say, the Banshee, I mean, it's still, the Banshee's in no cloak or anything. It makes me think we're seeing something a little different as Creator, that observer is visible. There's not an invisible observer anymore, Creator. Let's try to remember that one, huh? There's a few Marines on the other side going to hit this gateway, so actually trying to get a little bit more value. We are going to get the gateway, I think. Cyclone lock-ons will remain good, and that's 1 gateway down, so a little bit less reinforcing power. We're going to go after the cyber core as well. Obviously, we are nowhere near any sort of charge or anything. We've got no Twilight Council on the cyber core. It's just started up now. The Spirit's building a third CC as well, so he's also just saying, cool, let's just macro it up. Let's get to the next stage of this game, and let's see what we can get up to and what is going to end up happening on this next level. We're nibbling at the gateway again for a few moments. Deal a little bit more damage. Stim pack +1 coming through. The 1-1 upgrades all coming up. Colossus, gateways, cyber core building into place. The army is going to move from Spirit, so he is going to get across the map with an army. 41 to 27 army supply currently. Sees the Colossus as well, so he knows what he's potentially attacking into here. Tank shots initially with the Banshee firepower. Has the potential to do a lot. Chasing with the Banshees, not a lot of anti-air. Target firing the Colossus down. Cyclone locked on. We are still going to see the Cyclone locked on for a few more moments. It's going to be a low HP Colossus. As Creator is going to, Spirit is going to arrive on the other side. Creator is about to have Colossus number 2 though, and that's obviously going to be a big part of this defense, you'd imagine. It's going to be enough. Tank fire, like I say, is going to be good. Colossus has to walk into tank fire because we don't have range. So unless we kind of, you know, unless we send the Colossus, we kind of fight too far forward basically as Spirit, but that's not going to happen. Creator says GG. And Spirit is indeed going to win this off this push. This was such a weird one because I think he just identified that Creator was being greedy. So he went for it even though this was not his full intention because he's got everything on the way. You know, Spirit has nothing, he's not held back in any way in terms of setting up for the future. So the fact that Creator dies here really shows you how unsuccessful that initial build was. And honestly, maybe Spirit should have just doubled down on kind of being more aggressive. Maybe he just wasn't sure what the scenario was going to be. Maybe he was afraid to kind of get more aggressive because his opponent had opened triple gate already. That is understandable as well, but yeah, that was a truly disastrous little situation, and that is game number 4 going the way, game number 3 going the way of Spirit, which sets us up onto a game 4 of this best of 5, which we'll head into in a couple of minutes, guys. See whether or not Creator can bounce back and maybe give us a 5th game of this series. Alrighty, how's everyone doing? A couple of minutes of ads and we will be back at it. Like I said, we got some. It's kind of weird because I'm so used to just kind of getting the game started, but obviously that usually involves hosting a lobby again, people online, readying up the players, countdown time, and so on and so forth. And yeah, I mean, you know, that obviously takes enough time that usually we can just run ads and then start the game. Obviously, when we've got replays, I'm like, right, let's start the game. I'm like, oh, there's literally still 2 minutes and 58 seconds left of the 3-minute ad break. And even after all of that, we've still got 2 minutes left. There's just so much attention, I guess, that goes into watching people join lobbies and stuff that just takes up a minute or so. I feel like this is the longest time when I'm ready to start up the next one. But we just a little too far. I think we can go now, though. 2 minutes should be fine. What's going to happen in the first 2 minutes between these guys, right? Surely nothing. Surely it's going to be a nice, peaceful opening game. Let's find out at the very least as we dive into Last Fantasy. Interesting map for a game 4 here. Is in the bottom right side, it will be Spirit taking on the bottom left-hand side Creator for game number 4 of this best of 5. Alright, game 4, and get this going. A little Chrono Boost on the Nexus. We do have our probe taking a journey out through the bottom side of the map. Gateway and the Assimilator coming through, the racks and the gas coming online. Get that settled in here for a few moments as the probe takes a journey to the upper right-hand side. The probe into the upper right corner. And let's just have our racks and our gas going through, the gateway and the probe coming online. We just get settled here as the SCV and the barracks continue to come into play. What's up, Simia? Thank you so much for the 75-month resub. Keep it up. Thank you so much. We'll do so. Thank you for the 75. Love it. All right. Yeah, SCV probe doing some nibbling in the early stages here on Last Fantasy, our 3-player map. Spawning locations do usually matter on this one. Creator doesn't have the more easily pushed natural. Like, you will arrive to the natural of the pros player quickly here. You will not walk past the main base while doing so. Actually, if you take the third base up here as Creator, I think this layout's one of the better spawns for you as the Protoss. As the Protoss, you know, you then push into a Terran, you can blink all the way into this main, you get there quickly, there's no ramp in the natural, so blink Stalker pressure early is absolutely one of those big things that can absolutely work out for you. So that's going to be a massive advantage maybe early. Let's see if you can maybe do something with that, as this SCV of Spirit does wander through the middle of the map, heading to the bottom left side. Try and see a little bit of what's going on. Counts in production. Nexus on the way from Creator. Add on the Adept and the Warp Gate alongside everything else, and we just get everything going through nicely. This one Adept is going to make its journey out toward the upper right corner, shading away right now, getting up over there. So we got our starport building up over on the left-hand side. Well, Hellions going to begin. The starport still building through. The Blink is going to build on the Twilight Council, so we get that going. We just have the Adept of Creator heading down to the south. Starport will build on the proxy. Medevac on the way, so this Hellion drop is going to be Spirit's key to trying to get a quick win, or a quick advantage at the very least in this one. Hellions will show themselves at the front. They take a double Adept shot, which is just a massive shame, completely unnecessary, and now that's an more easily picked off Hellion, and that obviously means it's easier to reduce you down in that Hellion count and just take away that possibility. And you're aware that those Hellions are lingering on the map as well, so maybe you're a bit more aware of the possibility of a drop in here as well. As we get ready, all 4 Hellions will load up, and it's time to go into the main base. 4 Hellions will unload here and get moving. As we hit this mineral line and we start to deal some damage. 3 workers, 4, 5, 6 workers. Oh my goodness, it's 9. And that is actually extremely good considering the situation. I actually felt as though these Hellions were going to be kind of jumped on and figured out quickly. But apparently Creator did not respect the drop. 13 dead probes. We're not done yet. We're going to get 15. We're going to get out with 2. Salt in the wound. That medevac flying away alive is... And with Hellion, with cargo involved as well. This costs you 2 Hellions and you get 15 probe kills. You could not have asked for a better beginning to this game here as Spirit. It's an absolute dream scenario. Starport flying home and smiles across the board for the Terran player as we take 2 more barracks and slide up into the next stage of this game. As Blink finishes, we do not have the economy to apply any sort of realistically strong or powerful Blink pressure here. And, yeah, this is truly, I think, a game that Creator's going to want back right off the bat. Like, he saw that Hellions, it's got to be on your mind, right? Like, there's a possibility of the Hellion drop. He had vision on the edges, and he just had nothing nearby to help him out. Absolutely nothing. That's that Observer as well. Easy pickoff for Spirit, as we do see these Stalkers catching one of the Hellions on the map, at least. And, well, when your Stalker pressure arriving on the other side is 2 Stalkers, I think it's fair to say that that's probably not going to get the job done. That's a pretty miserable affair, to say the least. Stimmen +1 coming up, the Forge and the Nexus coming by. We get the charge of building from Creator. A couple of pylons building through. Third Nexus coming online. Build that up for the moment as the medevac boosts over toward the right-hand side. Just going to sit above on that main base. Well, Adepts and that Sentry going to chase forward. And see the Hellion going to be chased as well. It's just going to have a little bit of running about there as the Adepts try and get in after Mr. Hellion. And we'll see the Hellion getting into the main mineral line. Going to be able to go after the probes. So a couple of workers starting to go down. And we'll do the end of the Hellions. But even just one more probe is, again, you know, just something you didn't need to see here as creator, realistically. Like, you're already hurt enough. You're already bleeding. You know, you're on the ground and in pain. And Spirit just trips over your corpse, basically. He's like, oh, one more worker. Thank you so much. Pushing out on the map, Marine Tank, as we are, what? Equal worker count, ahead in army supply, Spirit getting upgrades finished soon. Rubber Bay just on. We're a mile away from a defense, realistically, as creator. And his charge is going to finish shortly. He just doesn't have the economy to really play enough gateway units to have that be super meaningful, to be honest. It's going to probably be one of the biggest kind of problems here. I guess all you can really do is spam zealots at this stage and just hope like a zealot will hold and gives you time to get up tech. And if you can have time to get up tech, then there's a way in this game still, maybe. But that's asking for a lot. That's asking for this Terran army to not kill you. And like I say, the army supply creator isn't terrible. He's getting a lot of zealots up, and Spirit is not rushing across the map either. Like, he's not going. He's actually pulling back. 3rd CC finishing. Force Academy on the way up. He's going to let Spirit, he's going to let Creator live. He's going to give Creator a shot in this game, honestly, because I think the sooner he went here, the better it's going to be as long as Stim and Combat was done. And if nothing else, even if he doesn't win the game with that push, I think he at the very least puts himself in a better position on the tail end of this push than he would otherwise. So, Orbital floating over. Sensor Tower is going to get a building. And we have the Bio joined up with a couple of siege tanks there. The Stalker's gathering up. The Colossus +1 and Thermal Land still on the way through. There's a few Stalkers pull back into the center of the map. Medivac and Roller coming by also. On the left-hand side, we're going to drop a 4th base down so that 4th Nexus of Creator comes straight into position. If he pushed, he would have died. I kind of think so too. I don't want to. Yeah, I want to give you the. I want to give the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that he finds a defense, but I think it would have been very difficult, especially if he was there when Stim Combat and +1 finished, like absolute maximum potential before work account got built back up. And now Spirit. I mean, Spirit is obviously one of those guys who is not afraid of later games. Typically, that's not usually the case in TVP, but in this scenario, like, he's not afraid of the later game, clearly. He's happy to get Ghost up. He's happy playing with that larger army. But in this case, he was far enough ahead that he's definitely given Creator a lifeline. And don't get me wrong, this position is still very good for Spirit, right? Like, 4th base is halfway done. The Protoss is just getting their 4th base up, so he's not got a crazy base lead. The Protoss does not have map control. You've still got equal worker count, which is good for you as the Terran player. You've got Vikings and Ghosts on the way. Your upgrades are good. Armory and second Engineering Bay about it. Like, everything is good for Spirit. Creator leads this game in no way at all. I mean, yes, he has a 4th versus the 4th non-position, but that's typical for Protoss. That's not a lead. That's what it's meant to look like. In fact, like I say, it's meant to probably be a 5th base on the way by now for Creator. So even in that regard, the base count lead doesn't really mean a lead, right? So Spirit is definitely in control of this game. It's just that question of, can he comfortably play out the later stages of this to take a win? Or does he let Creator come back because, now you've got to make sure you execute on the fights. And maybe before there was no chance to execute on a fight as Creator because he didn't have enough at all. Now at least there is that sliver of hope that he gets to hold on to for a little while. The Widow Mines burrow up. And you see a few more Widow Mines trying to get up as well. So the Widow Mine just hits a Zealot to start off with. Stalkers maybe thinking of setting off another and blinking away. A couple of SCVs went down. I'm not sure if I think it was just a Zealot across the map or so. Just one. Maybe as this base came into place. Widow Mines get burrowed up in the bio. Begins to take a few steps back. One Widow Mine actually going to shoot and actually gets the Stalker, I believe. I might have blinked away. I was a little bit off screen and didn't actually see. Fighting in the acceleration zone, going to let the Zealots close the distance super quickly. Vikings going to try and get after the Colossus, to be fair. It's a great place for the Vikings to be. Sad they couldn't get the Prism sooner, but it's a great place for the Vikings to be because all the Stalkers were up to the top side, and Spirit winning this fight in a major way. Up 40 supply coming out of it, and now the acceleration zone will help him try and chase down those Stalkers a little bit as well. Probably one of the better places Creator could afford. Came in from multiple angles, had acceleration zones to get the Zealot into the fight ASAP, and it just didn't matter. The only thing that I think went really wrong for Creator was that the Vikings were able to do a lot, and they went untouched for a very long time because the Stalkers were in the wrong part of the fight. The Stalkers were away from the Colossus, and that maybe was a little bit of a hefty mistake, by the way. That 4th base up, and Spirit just looks good eco-wise. Sense Tower's on location, so he is looking great when you just come back home and look at this. I mean, Creator's going to try and grab himself a 5th base right now, but that 5th starts to be very far away, and the base layout comes a bit awkward here on Last Fantasy, and that definitely feels like a very droppable base. If Spirit gets 2 medevacs on the map, which he's obviously very capable of doing because there's no map control for Creator to really stop him, like there usually might be in PvT, then that Nexus is very likely dead, and I think that would be maybe one of the best plays you could make at this point of time here as Spirit, because usually what stops you from dropping around the map is that the Protoss is sat there looking to take advantage of any weakness, any sign of your army not being strong enough. And that was just not really the case, as the Zealots are going to get in after the SCVs, the missile turrets, a few more Zealots warping in there, the Prism just sitting overhead, and we do see SCVs continuing to drop. This is obviously a nice idea, but it's going to have a long way to go to do enough. As that Prism goes down, these few Zealots run, but they're not going to get anything. It's an easy cleanup. 2-2 to 2-1, and you see the Zealots kind of melting with that only +1 armor as well. And there's no +2 armor on the way, currently prioritizing the +3 attack upgrade. And that is exactly what Creator wants, but that's fine. But that's fine for Spirit, because he's saying, cool. You know, you make your way into those upgrades. He is still extremely well set, about to be maxed out. He won 1 big fight already this game, and he's going to look to do it again here as he loads up the triple drop to go around the top side. Oh, that's not the double drop I was talking about, but the same concept, really. And that 5th base is going to be very difficult to hang on to here. And even if you do hang on to it, it means you're going to move a lot of units in that direction. It opens the rest of the map for Spirit to move on to and to maybe take some other larger fights and look to capitalize on a Protoss army that has to split heavily here. That Zealot is a major saving grace for Creator. A little bit of a heads up. He's actually going to get units in position because of that Zealot as well, so he does now know to get over there, and that's exactly why the rest of this army should be moving out. Oh, Creators expect him to have unloaded, but he did not, because Spirit realized what was going on, and there's not a lot of dead airspace here, but he actually does hide in a little bit of dead airspace he can find. I mean, you can actually hit that with Stalkers, obviously, but yeah, Spirit kind of doing the unorthodox play, catching Creator off, and now, in this bottom side, no Zealots here initially. Good Storm does land onto the Vikings. Vikings take a good 20% of their hit bars so far. Spirit trying to take the top base. There's the rest of this army still lurking. Is just wondering where the hell is where the hell are those drops at? We saw the medevacs. At this point, may have even thought they'd moved away. Extend forward. Robo Facility on the natural in trouble. We drop the Storm towards the 3rd base, but it doesn't hit anything. Feedback got 2 coming down as well. We're going to send Vikings up over to the top side. Wants to win the fight here, because there is a Colossus there, as we're going to look to make the drop in. Feedback, so going to be able to get rid of 1 medevac instantly, and that was not the drop for Spirit at all. It's actually going to be costly. He gets the Colossus, but man, he loses everything. The only issue is the Storm is going to kill all of those probes. A little bit awkward. We kill every single Colossus at the same time. The Bio on the natural makes his way through that recall to try and give us some more units here. Make the best of this that we can. We might be able to get the panel to stop the warping, or we maybe just need to turn and fight against as many units as we can get. Messy for Spirit, honestly. 130 supply each coming out. This, and Creator actually has money in the bank, so he's going to be looking pretty darn good on the other side of this set of events. Now Tempest on the way. Cancel those and build something more useful in the immediate future. Like, I get it, you're afraid he's going to start getting Liberators, but like, right now you just want to fight. Take momentum. Don't build big tech units that are going to be useless to push with in the next couple moments. Like, Creator, like, this is your best opportunity in this game. Like, Tempest is such a preemptive measure. Being preemptive is now going to give Spirit just a chance to set back up, and if he sees Tempest, he's just never going to go into Liberators. I mean, there's no Vikings for right now, but so what? Tempest do nothing if you can just overwhelm on the ground. I like that he has the ability to build Tempest. I don't like that he's preemptively building them, especially in this moment. Fire Ghost going to gather together up on the top side. The Marines will unload from the medevac out down on the south, as we just have Tempest Immortals coming through, +2 armor upgrade coming about. The army still from Spirit pushing up to the top. Looking for a push onto this army. 1 High Templar, 1 Archon here. Couple EMPs going straight down. Shots going through. EMP on the recall. Archon is going to be good as well. More storms, and that's going to be a much better fight for Spirit. So this time he does succeed, and he backs away comfortably with a lot of units as well, and kills the base. So a successful fight here for Spirit as that does clear out. Extra Vikings on the way, the Tempest building through. Now army from Spirit pushing down toward the bottom side of the map. Ghost coming over, Medevac's going to be there. See a couple of those Marauders just going to get shot. The Tempest continue to chase. Going to be seeing the Marauders still taking some damage. We're not going to be seeing a couple more Tempests coming through. That bunker going to be one of the buffed up bunkers. You don't see that every day anymore, but yeah, taking some shots. Over here, we're just going to lose this fight. This is the stage where, I mean, this is why I hate the Tempest. These Tempests are not a thing of luxury right now for Creator, because to me, they've eaten up supply and they've eaten up resources that could have been much better units. And these Tempests are just not adding much to these fights, unfortunately. Spirit, as one army gets chased top, is going to run straight through the center again. And just going to EMP this base to remove the recall. Recall's on cooldown anyway, but just in case we get one feedback. Snipe that High Templar, kill this Nexus. And the Creator going to continue having to run around and trying to find defense. The Zealot's running ahead of everything else, not exactly ideal. Out of EMPs, I think, though, so we're not going to have a way to get rid of those Archons and Immortals easily. But we're just going to run at the natural and, yeah, run straight through here. Battery's going down, Nexus is in trouble. Not really much else to add. This is truly looking pretty darn disastrous for Creator. There's a couple more Zealots going down. Got Archon coming through, the Tempest still firing, Stalker will get picked off there as well. Just the rest of this army pulling over to the side. Two more High Templar will continue to build up as the Viking Marine Marauder Ghost is in production too on the top side. Stalker, Archon, Mortal Tempest continues to hit that Planetary Fortress for a little bit of time as well. It's a little bit more damage done there. Going to make our way through this Planetary, so nibble up at that straight away here. Planetary Fortress will go down. The Immortals and the Archon are still swinging through. 13 SCVs killed. So, I mean, this army getting something done. I still am yet to see where Creator wins a fight. Like, this High Templar just got sniped. Archon, Tempest, Stalker? Is that what we're really fighting? Like, again, this army just looks terrible. A couple of High Templar on the bottom are going to give you a better chance. The problem is these Immortals look so much better when there was so much more army. Those storms don't matter. There's just not enough to support them. GG's. And Spirit gets it done messily, but he gets it done. When you consider what he got done at the start of this game, the fact that this was such a struggle is unfortunate. Because you would kind of think that that probably should have been a much more comfortable kind of situation, a much more easily kind of made kind of scenario. Jeez. Alright guys, what we are going to do is we are going to head into our next matchup pretty swiftly. It's going to be Nikaract versus GG Machine. So we're going to get that started in just a handful of moments and get ready to go into our Terran versus Zerg for this next matchup here. A couple of guys that you might not see a lot of games of. We see Nikaract on stream a lot. GG Machine we've mostly seen actually in like 2v2 events and so on. But we are going to get this TVZ up between them, and I actually think that makes for a pretty fun matchup. So we'll get this on the go in a couple of moments. Get ready to rumble, and we'll be off and underway very shortly, guys. Beautiful. Alright, so Nikaract GG Machine. Like I say, it might not be the star-studded matchup, but it's actually a fun one between competitive players. And as always, I always sing the praises of OSC. This is the kind of series that OSC is really about. This is the kind of series where OSC, you know, it really delivers, because these events give players like this a chance to play each other. It gives players like this a chance to make runs. It's not always about winning, it's about participating a lot of the time in OSC. Top 16 of this tournament take home prize money, right? So there's a big kind of factor there. I think this matchup actually would put you into the top 16 as well. So win this and you're top 16 already, which is amazing. You get some prize money. And again, that's what OSC really does the best. It really does kind of support this whole idea of just participate in events, earn points, qualify for tournaments, get paid for taking part a lot of the time. Yeah, OSC really does that better than I think pretty much anyone else does. So, shout out to OSC on that one, as we will give it a moment or two, and Nikaract GG Machine will be underway. Starting up on Ancient Cistern. For map 1 once we get started. Alright, let's jump on in, guys. I've got no reason to slow it down. I'm going to keep the games rolling. Keep the games moving. And get into some more action here. To kick this one off. Alrighty, we are loading into Ancient Cistern. And ready to start up in a few moments' time. Thanks for joining us today. Good to see you all. As we count down into game number 1. We're going to start in the bottom left-hand corner of the map with the red Terran player Nikaract. To begin this PO5. Taking on the green Zerg. In the upper right-hand corner of the map, we've got Machine. GG Machine, to be exact. In this lower bracket matchup. So all these matches we've gone through. That last match we just had, Spirit Creator, this match, and the Dreamy Trigger matchup, were all lower bracket elimination matchups for these guys. So you lose and you're out of the competition. Are any of the Scene Rockstars competing today? Clam Hero? No. So today we'll have this series, Series 5, GG Machine versus Nikaract, and then we will have Skillus versus Sebastes. And then if we have time, which I think right now we're kind of on track to have time, but we'll see how the next couple of games go. Obviously, always potential for a long one in TVZ. If we have time, we'll go into Solar versus Cure as our 5th series as well. That one is the one that I'm not sure about just yet. I'd like to get through 5 because I would like to leave 3 to do after a WardiTV October group. That seems like a good length for Saturday's stream, I think. If we do like 6 best of 3s and 3 best of 5s. That'll be a nice chunky stream for Saturday and give us a nice long day. I'm enjoying the longer streams lately, you might have heard. Might have heard me talking recently. It's been a lot of fun. To get ourselves set up and ready to rumble. Couple of Reapers on the way, so we actually go multi-racks at the front here for Nikaract to start us off. Not too surprising. Ancient Cistern is actually a pretty Zergy map. This one used to be really good for the Zergs when it was in the map pool. There's a few good tank positions on it and so, but not surprising to see someone kind of open Reapers and try and take control with Reapers early, and maybe try and lead into a follow-up that can kind of just net you an advantage. Keeps the kind of game in your control a little bit, and kind of that feeling of control on a map where the Zerg likes to kind of just do their thing anyway. It can be pretty nice a lot of the times. The Reaper will just poke about, get some damage done. And obviously threatens the first drone, the first few Zerglings. Not really going to find much just yet. Good micro backwards. The Zerglings microing well also. With the Queen popping out, you become a lot safer. Of course, it becomes a lot more difficult now as well, because the extra Reaper shows up, some more damage output available. Looks like Nikaract will go to a 3rd Reaper, and then, a 4th Reaper, and then he will halt at 4 Reapers. So 4 Reapers is really a pretty good number. It's a little bit more than usual. 3 Reapers has become the standard of 2 Racks Reaper. 4 Reapers gives you a little bit more poking potential, a little bit more damage output at the cost of a little bit more gas and slowing you down a little bit further otherwise. So it's a little bit of a preference thing. Clearly Nikaract here feels as though he can get enough done to justify this build as a grenade comes in. We actually get the creep team, which is really nice as well, as those queens are low and there's no transfusions available, so that's actually very scary. Because if we lose those queens, that's damage that really does start to add up. So Nikaract finds himself 1 queen, finds himself some Zerglings, another queen shows up, but those Reapers will be regenerating as well, remember, and Okay, he backs away because he knows it's Ling speed time. So that's actually very responsible. He got a lot done, though. I mean, realistically, look, there's a queen and a Ling. It doesn't look like a lot, but you also killed a creep tumor. These things add up. These things are important. So, actually, I'd say, yeah, very successful from Nikaract so far. Let's see the Lings. Oh, gonna stream through because the barracks moved off the reactor. Gonna let the Lings into the natural. They will get a couple SCVs here, and GG Machine will get to strike right back into the heart of Nikaract. For 3 worker kills, a little bit of run around will get cleaned up, and that was just a mistake. Barracks lifting when the Lings are out available on the map. And GG Machine is able to strike for 3 SCVs, and I believe a Marine as well went down. 3 Marines went down. That's actually honestly pretty good. 12 Lings for that. And that does just put a little bit of a hindrance on your setup here as the Terran. The first Hellions pop out will feel safe to get back on the map again. Obviously, the reason you pull those Reapers back are because of the speedy Lings. So the moment you have a couple of Hellions, you feel much better about being able to deal with the speedlings on the map as well. So you set that up. Settle down. The Reaper Hellion join together. A couple of Queens are going to gather. Do have our units moving up into the center as the Creeper Tumors settle down as well. Baneling Nest comes up from GG Machine, so we get that on the go. Overlords and drones, Lings as well, all producing through. Continue to get set here as the Hellions and Reapers continue to join up. A grenade going down. The Queen's going to be held back. Hellions will fire, and we are going to be seeing these Queens still in trouble, man. With the Reapers, you actually have a little bit more damage output than usual, and Nikaract continues to do great damage early. A little bit of a surround from the Lings is going to get you a couple of losses on this, but now we can make our way through to this mineral line. The drones are just up there. They should have ran to the natural when he realized that this was going wrong. Like, when those Lings have the surround, you have the chance to make an escape with these drones, and GG Machine did not grasp at that opportunity, which means 10 workers go down. And while Nikaract will end up losing absolutely everything, this was disastrous for GG Machine, who is going to be down. The 37 Lings, 10 drones, and 3 Queens in the game. Resources lost is obviously horrible in comparison. It's only minerals, but there's only been a bit of gas as well, so yeah. Thing's going to run across. Just going to see the couple of SCVs here immediately in some trouble. 4 SCVs go down immediately. Meanwhile, Marines just push up over on this side, and that is looking pretty doomed, if I'm going to be honest. I mean, I don't think we've got any Banelings available, so yeah, it honestly might be worth stopping and killing the Baneling Nest even, stop Bane Speed coming up. At the same time, I actually think you can do anything you want with these Marines, and it's the right decision. Honestly, probably chasing in was a better call because you get a lot more drones, a lot more significant, painful damage. You kind of leave the drones up and maybe you rebuild a Bane Nest. Maybe the Bane Speed wasn't that far along anyway. But yeah, GG Machine is in trouble in this game. The start was obviously very rough for him, and we already knew this. It was going to be a bad time based on how this game opened up with that Reaper Hellion harassment doing so much damage. And it's obviously, you know, gotten past that point now, and now we're in a state of absolute disarray and absolute inability to really fix things. So those few Marines and Medivacs join up. We'll unload. We'll get after the Overlord. We'll be able to get a kill on that. A couple Lings try and chase in. We scan for some creep tumors. The mines are going to join up with everything else. Still stepping over here. Other Medivacs coming through as well as we all start to take a step up. Ling Bane going to run forward. There's a counterattack that kills a lot of SCVs, to be fair. I mean, GG Machine says, hey, I got to get back in this game somehow. So he focuses on some counterattacks. He keeps the third base from mining. It's one of the best things he can do because he's not going to win this game just playing defensively. He's not going to win this game running headfirst into this Marine mine force. Killing a bunch of SCVs, stopping reinforcements, and then, you know, giving himself time to get more units to maybe take a fight. That is potentially going to win you this game, right? That gives you a way back into this. And obviously we can see the supplies are still not good for GG Machine. But it's a much better strategy than just being like, oh, well, I'm just going to fight into this clearly better army than mine and just hope it works. This gives you more of a chance for sure. So like the approach from him, playing from a rough position here. Can he split against those mines well? Honestly, yes, he can. More Marines unloading. The Widow Mines here will get blown up as well. The Ling's still streaming forward. GG Machine killing a lot of stuff right now. Nikaract As Medivacs, and Medivacs, he's going to save the SCVs on that other side. Banes are going to morph in, and we are going to try and bust through the front door here. This is getting a little bit awkward. SCVs are currently the wall. We need to rebuild something here. No, Lings are going to get in. Oh my god, Nikaract, are we in trouble? Melee upgrade's about to finish. This is going to be even better for the Zerg in a few moments' time as the Ling Bane pushes through. Marines are being chased. There's the melee upgrades with Carapace as well. Is that good enough? Medivacs are getting low on energy, and we are actually going to see GG called as GG Machine gets the counter attack and the win. What did we just watch? Wow. Like I say, what he did was giving him a chance, right? And sometimes you don't expect that chance to come through, but in this case, that chance really came through. That's what it comes down to. Like, he gave himself the chance, and this time the chance actually played out. GG Machine taking the opening map of this series. I think Nikaract just got a bit overwhelmed. If he never unloads on the third base and he just unloads in his natural, I think he wins the game. The problem is he unloaded on the third base, panicking, thinking, you know, he probably should always have enough to defend because of how the game's gone. And because he unloaded on the third base and he lost those additional units, he didn't have enough time to rebuild into a defense, and GG Machine was right there, busting through. So mistakes made by Nikaract and gave GG Machine a chance and an opportunity, and GG Machine, like I said, seized it. He did the right things to take advantage of it and gives himself the 1-0 lead in this best of 5. We're going to go to our second game here in Ley Lines, I think it was. I'll find out in a second when we load in. I think I just saw Ley Lines, but I clicked the button before I actually... Yeah, it is Ley Lines. I clicked the button before it truly registered in my brain, so I just had like the slight image of what I just read. Alright, well that's a heartbreak of a game for Nikaract, who should absolutely be up 1-0 right now, and instead sits down a game in this best of 5. I mean, if you're Nikaract, I think you gotta look at this and say, well, hey, look, I messed up. I got into a great position, though I clearly outplayed him initially. I can absolutely do that again and put myself in a great position once more. I think Nikaract should still be confident here. Just a little bit more kind of chilling out and not letting those run-bys kind of get the better of him in the end. Alright, Darren, Nikaract, Green Zerg, GG Machine for game number 2 of the series. Looks like my kind of game, man. Winning, winning, winning. Decide to lose. Think he thought the game was already over? Yes, I think he thought there's no way that he can win, and so that's why he was unloading like on the third base. Like he had no reason to unload on the third base when there's no SCVs there anymore, right? He could have absolutely taken that army and unloaded on the natural, or picked up the rest of the army and just dropped into the natural. He just presumed he was going to be absolutely fine, I think. I'm with you. Is it me? Oh, we see Nikaract everywhere these days. Nikaract plays a lot, man. He plays a lot of StarCraft too. He plays a lot of these tournaments, and he's getting good enough to be a challenger as well. So his name's always been in those first rounds of the bracket. But he's getting good enough to actually take maps and series and make you kind of, you know, really notice the fact that he's there. You know, at the end of the day, he's really making you kind of take note of the fact that, hey, I'm a player. I'm part of this. SCV patrolling around as we take a couple moments. The Reaper is going to come across to the upper right-hand side, so we get settled in. Things to be coming through, a couple queens getting built, and get going for a few moments as the Reaper will shoot at the Lings, and the drone's going to take some damage as well. Reaper. Chilling. Overlord. Netling. Obviously no multi-racks Reaper this time. A little bit more standard, as we are still going to go triple CC. So just right off the back of this game, triple CC and link speed coming through from GG Machine for the first few moments as well. So we get that underway. Some lava will pop out from the hatchery. And again, all the command center barracks coming through too as the Queen throws another little inject down. That lair coming up from GG Machine, so we get that going straight away. 6 additional drones in production too. Second speed on the way out. That's now going to complete those additional drones building. And hey, that lair is coming by as well. Let's just take a few moments here. The Reaper diving into the main. Shut down by the Lings and the Queen. Going to be seeing that dropping. That is just trying to get in for some scouting. Just trying to be aware of what's up. And because there's no third hatchery, right? You're trying to know what's going on. But the lair's on the natural. He did see the gas, so he will have seen how much gas is mined. But he doesn't know what's coming with the gas. So again, you're a little bit blind to that. As the barrack swaps over to the reactor. Try to build some Marines, and I think that should be pretty good against what I expect this to be mutas, right? So thinking we're going to go kind of 2 basey kind of mutas here. Obviously, the more Marines we get up against those, the better off we're going to be. Lava popping out, just have the Bane Nest and the Overlord coming through. Spire, Bane Nest coming online, Starport coming up, the Stimpak and the Marines coming into play. Just having the couple of Overlords and the drones all coming through for the moment as our third hatchery comes up on that left-hand side. Stimpak finishing shortly. Now the Marines getting in after the Overlord. Overlord will go down. The Hellions will start going on the map again. Nikaract's playing very safely because of his lack of understanding of what's going on. But that Spire is coming up, so we can see its mutas. As he comes across here, he will confirm the third hatch is up. Obviously sitting back so far. Defensively placed, but nothing's really come his way. And in the end, it's just going to come down to these mutas. The worst thing Nikaract can do right now is probably load those Marines up and fly across the map. And I only say that because there is a world where this is okay as well. You know what? With only 5 meters on the map, it's probably going to be fine. There's just a world where if you obviously get forced back with these Marines, you get into a really awkward spot where if the mutas can chase the medevacs, you can't lift into them, and then everything maybe gets cleaned up. Do we have enough to stop that from... Oh, do we have enough to kind of make that happen here, I guess is the question from GG Machine. I'm not immediately sure, to be honest. Just going to get an Overlord to begin with. First mutas popping out, so maybe the timing of this was fine because he's going to get here just as the mutas are popping. So there's not a lot of defense available for the Zerg just yet. The mutas are going across the map. The Lings cannot run into that, especially with the Hellions here to help support this. And our third hatchery is in some serious trouble. We have got missile turrets on the way up. We're obviously very understanding of what's going on now, so we unload into the main base instead. I wonder if he could have just sat here and killed the third base. I don't know. He really needed to kind of pull up to the high ground. Bane's rolling through. Loses one medevac. The mutas. No. Somehow didn't lose all of them, actually. It was surprisingly better for the mutas than I thought it was going to be. We're in a series right now where I feel like things are happening that don't really quite add up in my head, but sometimes StarCraft just be like that, you know? The Lingbane is going to make an effort to come over the other way here. The few mutas getting on top of this medevac. We nearly get that kill, but it boosts, and it is going to begin the unload process. No, we loaded something else back into it. Marine jumped in. Defense is fine, though. There's not enough Lings here to really run through and break through this position, so we're going to be absolutely okay for the moment. 1-1 upgrades going bad. The rest of the units pulling back. Once again, we get all the Lings back to the top, Banes to the top, mutas to the top. Fourth hatchery on the way. GG Machine is very much so in this game. The opening was a little bit messy again. A little bit all over on both sides, but we are going to have ourselves a game with, to be fair, Nikaract ahead on workers. I think Nikaract ahead in position. Obviously, upgrades will be in his favor. That's a natural occurrence when you open with fast 2-base lair kind of mutas. You've got to sacrifice something to go into mutas quickly. A lot of the time, it is the Evo chambers and the upgrades. Marines stepping forward, and that Overlord is going to get cleaned up as well. Let's just have the hatchery going to be in some trouble. So this hatchery going to get jumped on. And do you see the mutas on the other side? Going to get turned around by a missile turret as well, so that's going to come straight through. Hatchery is going to fall. So you can see the few broodlings going down, and those couple of tanks will unsiege. Wanting to run into this, the Lings are going to come through, the tanks will siege up, we're going to start pulling back. Tanks target fire onto the Banelings here to get as much as we can. The Marines will get rid of quite a few of the mutas in the end. The Banelings never made the dive through to try and get to the Marines, so Nikaract is able to maintain a supply lead in this game. Marine tank medevac over to the right side, going to get a kill on this top side hatchery, so no cancel there, and the fourth base denied for the moment. A lot of creep down the right side of the map as well. You can see a couple more of these creep teamers getting picked away up. The medevac pulling back and boosting away. We get a scan down to clean up a little bit more creep as we continue to run across over to the right. Going to try and get ourselves towards that base. These medevacs are loaded up and just trying to get anywhere that they can to keep units busy. If they can get to the main base, that might be the longest distance they can force stuff to run, but the mutas are there, and this group of units is just going to go down immediately, so that's going to go down right now. Meanwhile, in the center, we got the Marine tank just getting a scan down. A couple more creep teamers dropping. We've now got Zerglings, which want to try and head toward everything else, and will not quite be able to just yet. Marine tank, medevac, joining. Push out over to that right-hand side. Settling on the 6 o'clock. A few creep teamers are going down as well. Still got some mutas coming up. +2 flyer attack upgrade. Building as well. The extra Lings in production too. See that Queen getting picked up. We're going to see the Ling Bane running up. Ooh, Marine's going to be a little bit clumped up still. The Banes do manage to get some good catches there, and Nikaract not taking the prettiest of fights. And again, Nikaract in this series is giving GG Machine opportunities when it feels like Nikaract is in good positions. GG Machine is able to capitalize on mistakes of Nikaract. Comes up this top side base again, but that right side fourth may come online this time. GG Machine desperately needs it. The Marines is going to be there loading back into the medevacs. Two upgrades are coming through. The Marines do clean up on the bottom side. Now the Marines are going to come running out with a couple of siege tanks as well. The command center is going to float down into that bottom position too. We have the medevac still boosting around on the top as the Zerglings will settle. Marines are going to get taken out. Medevacs are going to drop. Us getting the cleanup there as the few Banes join up as well, and we just continue to get everything settled. On the right side, there's a couple of tanks are going to fire. The Baneling's going to take some more shots. Zergling's going to take damage. As Hatchery goes down, we're just not allowed a fourth base. That's the one thing Nikaract is doing very well. He's keeping GG Machine off a fourth base. For some of the trades that Nikaract's had, if he hadn't denied the fourth base, Resource lost even, by the way. If he hadn't denied the fourth, he probably would have been in trouble, but you know, the denial of the fourth is the reason he's doing so well. The mutas just say, I'm going to fight whatever Marines are on this natural. They will get through them. Take a few losses. Now going to start going after everything else. The Thor that's on the way is going to be extremely useful in this circumstances. The Thor here would stop those mutas being able to dive in. I think it's going to push down onto that planetary fortress. They can jump onto that straight away. That's going to be a wraparound as well. I see the Bane showing up. 14, 16 SCVs, 18 SCVs going down. The planetary will go down, and Nikaract unable to get over to that right side to deal with that run by. The mutas get pushed back up the left-hand side as well. 2-2. Mutas coming about. 3-3 upgrades coming over. The Lings back into the center. Marines will continue to chase those mutas down. Push them again away up the left side for the moment. I wanted to maybe get towards those mutas. Stimming in right away then. Mutas take some damage already. Bottom side, our Ling's going to get a wrap around on the Sense Tower. On this building command center, building out on location. A bit greedy from Nikaract. Going to get punished for it immediately. Like, he doesn't have the map control to really get away with that, so I think that was just like a bit of an autopilot thing. Didn't really stop to think about it. We will try and take a stim to knock down some of the creep threat. There is that Thor that I mentioned. It's going to help a lot as the mutas try and continue to make this chaotic by diving into the main base. The sub-turrets are doing what they're meant to do, which is to absorb the muta shots. They will die. But the whole point is you're taking the muta shots and the mutas aren't killing more important things. More Banes coming up. Infestation Pit finishing. Burrow halfway done. Add a couple Infestors on. Bio Army just going to be settling on the left side. The mutas still around the bottom as well. Heading across over to the left. A couple of SCVs. Jumped on immediately. 3 workers going down right off the bat. Now into this mineral line. This turret gets jumped on as well. Dive straight through. Another missile turret going down. But we're going to be there. Marines showing up. Couple of mutas going down immediately. Bio Army just going to stand as the Ling Bane runs forwards. There's a lot of Banes getting crushed, man. We do not win this fight at all as GG Machine. There's a lot of Terran left. The mutas are going to come back the other way, see if they can maybe clean up what is maybe a lack of anti-air. There's still a good amount of Marines. I'll tell you what, those medevacs have no energy left on them. You just fly in, they take a lot of damage. The Thor's obviously putting in work as well, but then the Banes show up, and now the Marines just have to run. Now there's a couple of Fungals available too. They drop down, hitting some of these Marines also. Medevacs are going to go down to the Mutalists, and do we have a cleanup here with GG Machine? We might just have that. Extra Marines showing up though. Another massive fungal growth. We target fire down the Banelings, so it's just going to be Ling Muta to fight those Marines. If they weren't fungal, it might not have mattered, but GG gets called, and GG Machine will take game 2. Oh my god, chaotic series, and again, a game where GG Machine had to struggle his way through to get into a proper position and everything else. But in the end, is going to go his way, and that's going to be GG, just like that. Damn. Alright, we are going to get moving into game 3 then, guys. That was... I mean, I'm a little shocked that GG Machine takes a 2-0 lead here. Looking good for him. As, yeah, it's scrappy, but he's taking advantage of the scrappy situations, and he's pulling himself into, having chances in those games where you might not typically expect there to be chances. So, giving himself some opportunities. We'll be playing Hecate for map 3, but we've got a couple minutes on the ads, guys. So, give it a moment, and we'll get back on track. And was Egg tonight? That's not true. If we have time, our 5th series will be Solar Cure. We're kind of on track to do a 5th series right now. Kind of depends how quickly this one wraps up. Maybe if a full comeback comes in from Nikaract, it won't. PvP after this. I think the PvP might be fast too, so I'm pretty confident we're going to get Solo versus Cura Series 5. Oh yeah, minute 43. I think we can probably go into Hecate then. Let's send it in. Let's get this going. Kick this off. Hey Wardy, what are all the ways we can support you? It's a big question. And that is not the thing that was going to sell out for me, so I do not have the answer. In the bottom left-hand side, a Red Terran player looking for the comeback in this best of 5. It is going to be Nikaract. Taking on the green Zerg in the top right corner of the map. GG Machine. Four mutas were not used by Zerg players. I think there's a good chance Ling Bane muta becomes a bit of a thing again with the plus 5 HP to the Banelings. The mutas are a good support. Yeah, the mutas are a good support in the sky to a Ling Bane army, and now that Ling Bane army is a little bit buffier, think Bermuda might be back on the menu a little bit. We've not seen too much of it yet since the patch, but we've seen it a couple of times. Which is honestly probably a couple of times more than we would have seen it before the patch, to be honest. GG Machine in the upper right on Green Zerg, Nikaract, Red Terran. Game 3 here on Hecate. First Overlord moving over to take a couple moments on this very pretty map. I've always loved the colors on this map. They're very unique to this map as well. Like, we don't see a lot of other StarCraft maps that use these kind of like... I just love like the deep green into the purple and the orange. It's super pretty. This map always stood out aesthetically. Nothing else. Ling Bermuda is so fun. It is. Ling Bermuda coming back would only be a good thing, you know. It's a very fun style. Why are we just watching this bit of grass? Because I think it's pretty, guys. Autumn colors. I don't know if the purple's very autumny, but the orange for sure. It's just different. It's just nice, you know. It's just pretty. It's just pretty. Reaper's out, so we actually can't just look at the scenery anymore. It's time to follow action on the map. Game 3 of this series. Nikaract fighting to stay in the tournament. This is an elimination series. Lose this and you are gone. There'll be an upset if Nikaract lost, I'm pretty sure. Reaper opens, gets some damage. Going to be the Reaper going to get pushed away. Factory about to finish up. Command Center coming through. Hatch drones and the link speed building. Just going to see the orbital command begin to morph in as well. Just getting that going immediately as the Reaper comes back around into the center. Link speed building. Queen and the Hatch coming through. Our third hatchery here from GG Machine coming up as well. Is that Marine just going to be there to push the Overlord back a couple of moments? And yeah, the Reaper is going to be hanging about for a few more moments as well, seeing what's going on for the moment. A moment of this, a moment of that. You should spend one game where you just focus on explaining how pretty a map is. I mean, we've been there and done that before, to be fair. Been there and done that before. Reaper, a couple of Hellenes on the move. The Overlord is coming around for the moment. Drone is coming up. The Queens are building. Now we have ourselves the cloaking coming through on the starport as well. So, getting that established right here. Couple Marines is going to go straight after the Overlord. So, take away at that to get rid of it. Bam, bam, bam. And the Overlord is dead. New feature for the ladder random map from past seasons. The biggest problem with using maps from previous seasons is that old maps were designed with old metas and old balance setups and patches in mind. And that's why a lot of the time when you bring back like old maps, they just don't really work. And maps like Hecate, this one's not old, right? So it fits a little bit better. But people when they say they want old maps back want like HOTS maps or like Star Legacy of the Void maps. And these maps are just, they don't fit the modern way that StarCraft 2 is played anymore. So they are just going to naturally give you worse games. And they just naturally kind of give you like, there's no point having that map because no one wants to play on that map apart from a bit of nostalgia, you know. We should have a nostalgia pool. Like, we should have like a nostalgia pool, like where some maps rotate in. It's like a separate ladder maybe, so you can play on it. Separate, you know, so people don't have to play on it if they don't want to, but you can play for the nostalgia sometimes. Well, this has been a disaster with GG Machine. Nikaract is going to get an amazing opening, but hey, we had an amazing opening over in game number 1. And that backfired on him, so don't take anything for granted just yet. It's 18 drones and a fourth base cancel is going to be the numbers at the end of this Banshee Hellion harassment. So very successful from Nikaract. That's extremely good, like you say, and I'd be calling this game over if we hadn't already seen crazy things in this series. But Nikaract has had a tendency today to not follow up on advantages and good positions, so we will see. Is this good for the Zerg? I mean, if we take game 1 as an example, then yeah, he's probably got probably like a 95% chance of winning this, you know? So, yeah. This is more and better damage than game 1 though, right? So, surely this time Nikaract follows up and looks good. This GG Machine is still up a lot of workers, but that's because Nikaract is committing to a big push here. He's playing 2 bases, he's got the 5 racks up, there's going to be a serious army deficit. And that's going to be the problem, is that, yes, you've got a bunch more workers, but because you've had to replace all those workers, you've had less time mining with those drones, and less time, obviously, just building units, and less resource to just build units. And hence, the 2-base push from Nikaract is going to look pretty heckin' scary. Three drones going down for a moment or two. The army coming around the right side. Marine tank is going to be there. This base goes down. I mean, this push should be unholdable. Like I say, unless we really mess it up as Nikaract. I mean, surely we learn from games 1 and 2 and we just play a very solid follow-up here. Bane Nest is going to go down. Bane Nest falls. Couple Hydra's gonna fight. I mean, the Banshees might go down. We're 20 army supply ahead. We're upgrades ahead. We're slow Banelings. Tanks are gonna target fire those Banelings. Marines will split back, and then they can run forward and just take out everything else. Queen Laying Hydra is not gonna get it done against that amount of Marines. GG. Nikaract brings it back a map. There we go. There we go. Terran can still win games even when they start ahead. Who knew it? Now we know it. Is. Alright, I just lost another player from my tournament because I did not think about a tournament that was going on that weekend, so I just gotta try and fix things up. I need to find some other players. Ay. Bum 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 bum. Yo, what's up? Thank you so much, Shakul, for the 100-month resub. How's it going, mate? Long time no see, no? It's been a hot second. Damn. You just like waited in the shadows for like it to get to 100 months on your sub, and then you're just like, BAM! I exist still. I swear I've not seen you in like literal years. How you doing? Thank you so much for the big 100. Crazy business. Crazy business, as we're going to get into game number 4 of this series for some more crazy business TVZ style, which is going to be on Tokamak. Returning now and then, had to resub to the goat. I appreciate it, mate. Hell yeah. I really, like, I saw it, I saw the name, I was like, and then I saw the 100, and I was like, it's been a second, it has been a second. Appreciate it, buddy. Good to see you. Welcome back to some StarCraft 2. Alright, bottom left-hand corner, we're going to have ourselves the red Terran player here. This is Nikaract, who is down. Only 1 game now, but he must win 2 more back-to-back if he wants to win the series, because he let his opponent steal away the first 2 maps of this series. And that means that GG Machine still just needs the 1 to get him through to the next round of this competition, the OSC Mid-Season Playoffs. Alright, game number 4 of this best of 5. As we have an Overlord moving in. I don't think anything crazy is going to happen early. It's just going to be a single barracks as well. You still have the emails you received getting free coaching after desperately commenting on one of my YouTube videos when you first started playing? Damn. That's legit from like 10 years ago, surely. Jesus. Alright, Overlord, I'm going to be coming down the bottom left side. The hatch gas pool coming about. Reaper in the orbital on the way in as we get settled. As the command center will start. And we get ourselves going for the next few moments. November 2015, holy goodness. Literally when I was literally trying to make guides, right? Like, I remember, I was literally trying to make guides on how to play StarCraft because I was just trying to figure out how to be a content creator full-time. That's crazy. November 2015 is literally when I truly fully like sent it. Because obviously I was like full time from like when I finished university in 2015. But November I came back from BlizzCon. I traveled quite a lot those first few months. So November 2015 is like legit when I was like, right, it's grind time. We had like 30 subscribers. If that, honestly. If that, I mean, yeah. Kind of crazy. We might have had a few more than 30 at that point, actually. We might have been between 50 and 100 or so, but yeah, it's actually wild to think back on. Crazy business. Reaper going to set up at the front here from Nikaract as we settle in with triple CC, so pretty peaceful. Giving us time to reminisce a little bit. Legit 10 years ago, isn't that crazy? The journeys we've been on. Finally got hired to do proper events. We hit 2,000 subs that time. Now we've done a fair bit, haven't we? It's been a journey. Reaper coming about. Still poking around. Gonna drop a little grenade in. Group team going to be cleaned out. There's the few queens will step forward as well, so looking to get themselves into position. The lair will build from GG Machine on the natural expansion, so gets that on the way as well. And the extra drones and the extractors coming through, so we bring all of that up and running here, just for now. As the couple of Lings will continue to chase after Mr. Reaper for a few moments. That Reaper will be chased, the Zerglings will continue to hunt, and we just about get away. The couple of Hellions coming through will be a big part of this as well defensively, so able to turn those Lings around and go in the other way. Barracks going to drop down onto a reactor. The factory will move over to the sides. Starport will drop in the near future as well, so just get all that on the go. A few extra Marines in the stim pack coming up as well. Correct, like I say, getting into a comfortable beginning here. And that's maybe not a bad thing. And it's going to be this later third hatchery, but GG Machine gets a fast Bane nest this time. So we're still going to see that Spire? Yes, we are. So going to rush up into those mutas again. So going back to what we saw in game number 2. It's not super common for CBT, like I mentioned. Like Mutaling Bane might be on the up soon. Like that might be something that becomes more popular, but as it stands right now, like it's not something we expect to be like an immediate like, oh yeah, that's what we're doing kind of thing. As that Spire comes into place, we bring that up. Meanwhile, Stimpack on the way. Baneless is coming through. We do have a few Hellions running the other side as the Overseer takes some damage from those Marines. Again after that and try and really knock this down. Overseer will fall. There's a Changeling following these Marines, by the way. It's just kind of, yeah, look at me. I'm pretending to be one of the, one of the crew, one of the squad. Queens will be there. Hellions and the Reaper pulling back. And we just have a hatchery setting up on the right side as well. Impact about to complete. The engineering base coming online. The Hellions and the Reaper pulling back. The Marines joining on the natural. There's a little wall of depots there as well. Just going to get that settled. As, yeah, Spire about to complete, and the Bane speed is coming through. Have the Bane Nest is going to have that Balin speed finish shortly, so that gives you that little bit of kind of luxury around the map. But most importantly, you got the Mutalisk coming over the left-hand side. They're going to get ready to maybe start making some dives on through, look for some opportunities. Mutalisks ready to make their play into this main or third. Third that's going to be to begin with. The missile turret is there. So initial bit of defense is in place from Nikaract. Going to be well positioned to start us off. The Marine Medevac coming over. 1-1 upgrades and the combat shield coming up as we get going. And the Mutas go back around into the center of the map. So Mutas back over to the center here. And still got the melee upgrades coming through. We settle into this one. Meters to the bottom. Medevac will hang to the left-hand side. Just have the upgrades all coming through. 1-1 combat shield. All coming into play for the moment here. The Mutas want to try and dive into the mineral line. Try and get after some SCVs. 3 of them going down already. A couple of Marines are going to step over. Mutas will take some damage. Supply is kind of even right now, so it definitely feels good for Nikaract, right? Equal outwork account. Just needs to approach this smartly. I always really feel as though, like, he's getting some tanks going now. The more meters that come up, the more I really feel like a Thought is actually a really good addition in this army. Yes, it doesn't provide the splash on the ground, but it does provide you a lot of safety against the mutas. It stops a lot of the mutas being able to just dive around super comfortably. That's why it was interesting, because obviously the Banes were so far back, they were just not here initially. As the meter link still builds, carapace upgrades coming through. And a lot of that brought up and online as well. Let's get back over to the left here. Marine, tank, Hellion. Trying to get set up. Refinery will take a couple of nibbles. Crew spread's been pretty good as well. So actually crew spread in most directions. As Nikaract is still trying to move out. And that's the issue against Lingbane Muta. Moving out is one of the more dangerous things you can really do for yourself. Because it opens the chance for this army to swarm you. It opens this chance for this army to surround you. It just opens chances that you don't really want to be messing with, to be honest. So, puts you in some more dangerous positions than, like I say, you really want to be handling. A couple of Mutas chase away back over that left-hand side. They'll get pushed back over in that direction. The Mutas want to try and grab that Medevac, by the way, and they will try and make a play forward. The Marines are going to stim back over there, too. The Lingbane now looking for a wraparound. Tanks will siege. Marines will stim. Pull back over to the left. Full Infestors. Zerglings on the production tab. The Mutas are going to work their way through some Marines over on the bottom side as well. The Medevac taking damage. Command Center will take some shots again with the 2-2 very close to being... 2-2 just starting up. And the upgrade lead eventually, but this fight's interesting. A lot of the Banes knocking onto siege tanks, not ideal. Muta's still heading down to the bottom. So the Medevac is going to get jumped on. A few Marines are getting jumped on as well. Just having these Mutas continue to play cleanup right now. 2-2 upgrades still building by. The Lings are coming about. We'll just have this army still pushing on forward. The Marines will run all the way back to deal with this. We'll lose another siege tank in the process, and I mean, do we have a lack of missile turrets? Maybe a missile turret or two in the production lines would have been nice as well. Like, it's crazy. It feels like you need so much preparation against the mutas. You know, it's like, how can these mutas not be good enough when it feels like you can force so much defense out of the Terran player with them each and every time? Kind of surprising is if you have... the game will settle for a moment, then fourth base builds on location for Nikaract. Like, this is a madman move. Like, why are we building our fourth on location, spread out, when we're kind of running around after mutas? Do we just not think Lingbane's going to show up? Do we think, like, we've got no units over here either. It's not like you're holding map control, pushing in this direction. This is the easiest cancel we're going to be seeing. And if we do pull units over here, then it opens the left-hand side up. So, you're just really making it easy for GG Machine to make your life difficult. In this case, you do get units over there for now. But like I say, that's you having to be positioned to the right and spread out. When you're just getting no benefit from it just yet. Just build that CC a little bit close to home and float it over there just after. I don't think you really need to put that in position. I mean, in this case, it's probably going to finish and complete. Missile turrets are up as well, so maybe it's safe. Like I say, you're spread out though, right? Like, here we go. I mean, you're just not in position right now. And you've not had any benefit from this yet. Like, it can still be cancelled. The Banes are going to roll up this ramp. The Infestors are so far behind. They're not going to get involved. The Banes are going to start getting through. In fact, Nikaract going to be in a little bit of trouble. Ling's on the other side going to grab the siege tank. Thor showing up finally, but the mutas are mostly dead. It's Ling Bane that's the problem. The command center killed, no cancel. Ling's into the mineral line going after the SCVs. Infestor drops a fungal out of nowhere. before it goes down. 29 SCVs dead, and GG Machine is gonna get the GG out of Nikaract. Oh my goodness, the upset here in the lower bracket. The TVZ goes to the Zerg. Nikaract gets eliminated. Crazy business. Crazy, crazy business. Alrighty, guys. Well, we are going to be 3 series deep already, and it's time for everyone's favorite matchup. It's Protoss versus Protoss time. I know what you're all thinking. Wardy, I've been waiting for this moment all day since the last PvP ended in only 15 minutes. It is going to be Skillus versus Sebastes, and we'll be heading into that very, very shortly. We'll be going very soon. We'll just run some ads, clear up the ads, clear up the ad timer, and get ready to go. Isn't GG Machine pretty young? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. First time GG Machine advances to the top 16 of a mid-season playoffs. Hell yeah, love that. Thank you, Eddie, as always, with the stats on the OSC events. Getting all the work in behind the scenes to make these events happen, to get us these replays to cast a bit of. What you've been waiting for this moment all day. I know. I mean, who doesn't sit around waiting for the PvPs? You're crazy if you don't. Plain and simple. It's going to be Skillus Sebastes, guys. We're going to get into this in just a couple moments. I'd say we're kind of on schedule to most likely do solo queue again, guys. Unless the PvP is abnormally long for PvP, it's very likely we do the TVZ. And then what we will do is the next kind of... We have a few replays left to cast this week of this event. I think we're going to do those on Saturday after the WardiTV October Group B. And I believe that'll be... I think that's going to be Max Packs Beyond Spirit versus GG Machine. And probably... I think it's a PvP that's left in the bracket as well, if I'm remembering correctly. So yeah. That's what's going on. Maybe even the winner of this against Goblin, I think, is the other matchup, so... Yeah. You miss the days of hiding the DT Shrine? Do we still do that in PvP? I mean, yeah, people do everything in PvP, to be honest. What don't you do in PvP, right? Like, is maybe the better question overall. This matchup can really still get very aggressive a lot of the time, so... Cannon Rush versus Cannon Rush? Yeah, that would be the day. Give us some real PvP, you know? Who builds that cannon faster? Whose probe got the extra 5 minerals before it dies? Alright, guys, in the bottom left-hand corner in the OSC mid-season playoffs, lower brackets are still an elimination matchup. The blue Protoss player over here is going to be Skillus, taking on in the upper right-hand corner the yellow Protoss player, Sebastes. Sebastes had a great game the other day in the OSC King of the Hill. If you weren't here for that the other day, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And Sebastes came through and played a great game of PvZ against Solar, right? And he won that game. And that was a very, very cool result for him. So a little bit of a surprising one. Very excited to see that. It was edition 227. I'm just double checking what it was. Yeah, Sebastes took a map off Solar and then lost to Geralt in the PvP after, but was a very exciting PvZ, and he actually played a great game, so yeah, definitely been playing well lately. We'll see what his PvP looks like here against Skillus in a best of 5. It's going to be 2 gateways versus the single gate. Ultra love one of the maps with that ramp into the natural, and Skillus looks to utilize that right off the bat in what will likely be a faster expansion, even though his Nexus before core. So faster expansion with the knowing that you're a bit safer than usual because it's a ramp up into this natural, which makes a lot of the defense a lot easier to pull off. Cybercore goes down. I'd be very surprised if this wasn't just a Stargate behind this from Skillus to kind of get safety kind of going early. But we will see very soon. And talking about King of the Hill, guys, we'll be back with OSC King of the Hill tomorrow. We'll be starting 1 hour later than our usual stream time. We'll be back with OSC King of the Hill tomorrow for even more King of the Hill action. A lot of fun. And yeah, we had a good time with that last week, so going to be 15 best of ones. Winner stays on each time. Should make for some entertaining games. A couple of depths come by, the Wolf Gate comes up for Cybercore, and a gateway here from Skillus back on the natural. going to get underway to begin with. The Proby on its way to the bottom left-hand side as well. And yeah, Warp Gate's going through. Robo Facility and the Adepts coming online also. And our Proby journeying down to the bottom as we just settle ourselves down into this. Top probes going to pass each other by. Sentry coming into place. We got a little gateway going up in this main as well here from Skillus. Just going to get that drop straight into position right now. Couple of Adepts come through, Warp Gate building. And Sebastes is still shading downward to the bottom left here and in toward this natural expansion. That's blocked, so we'll not be able to advance forward with those Adepts any further just yet, though. Going to be there. A couple sentries going to hold out. We'll see the hallucination to give Skillus info. What are we going to do then? I mean, we've thrown down the proxy robo, and Prism is already here. It's a daring little first move, and actually takes a bit of damage on the Prism, which is scary because that makes it a little bit scarier to kind of continue through with that and to try and get a little bit more done. We'll unload a sentry, warp that in, Adepts and sentries together, looking to push forward. The hallucinations, just going to see the units there. Skillus' defense so far looking good. I asked, is he going to build a Stargate? He did not. He just built pure gateways. He's just got gateway units to deal with this. There is maybe the issue of the Immortal a little bit as we press up here Sebastes onto that ramp. Obviously, force fields are going to be a big factor, but that's true on both sides. And with the Prism, you can kind of navigate the force fields more easily as Sebastes compared to what Skillus can do with his own sentries now just getting caught in those force fields. He obviously has batteries to buy himself a whole bunch of time as well, and that is a big part of what's making this entire fight so awkward at the moment. And we threaten that Adept shade. There's still a lot of healthy batteries right now, lots of energy on them. But we are getting more Immortals. It is really just the fact you've got to push up this ramp that makes this a problem. With double Immortal, though, we could jump in the main. That's obviously an option with the Prism. It might be a very cool option to take advantage of as well, as the couple of Stalkers step over to deal with this Prism right away. Stalkers getting hit by those Immortals. And we pull back down to the low ground. It's a nice little corner. Actually find somewhere where these Immortals can hit that gateway without really taking damage in return. So one way to not just take out a gateway, but also maybe open up this kind of wall off so we can shade some Adepts through and maybe be a bit annoying there. Battery actually heals the gateway up. Good force fields to push the Immortals away. And we're going to try and drop the Immortals onto the other side and again see if we can target anything down, but it's not really happening. Next, Stalkers warp in and Skillus gets more and more units to play the defense here. Sebastes still struggling to find anything. Now a Stargate from Skillus as well to help him out defensively with some actual tech. You know, I do think he has an issue if this is just gateway units where it's like there's only so much you can do with gateway units. I mean, it's getting very, very choked up and kind of difficult to get everything kind of fighting. The Stargate's going to be big. You can obviously shoot down the Prism and get rid of the Prism play a little bit. If it tries to dive in, it can lift Immortals in the fight as well, which is a big deal too. Immortals still just being brought back a little bit further. The gateways take a few more damage. It's damage. The Stargate coming online. It's going to be a second Stargate. He has that Phoenix is already about to finish up. The Immortal's still firing. So we're just seeing our Immortals stepping straight on forward again. The Sentries and the Stalker going to gather together. Robo Bay coming down from Sebastes as again we try and hit that gateway for just a little bit longer right now. Immortals are still going to fire through and again would love to get themselves a gate at the very least, but man, it's just not being allowed to have anything really. It's just so awkward. You can see how the ramp is really working in Skillus' favor, exactly why he kind of played this style on this map. More Stalkers warping in. We build a Robo Bay behind this. We're getting a Disruptor, which can obviously start to poke up and do damage from afar. It's going to be a very slow process, and with the Phoenix, you can always lift a Disruptor and cancel its shot as well. So, still not exactly ideal. Another force field going down. Gate's still chilling. As the pylon coming about as well. A couple of Stalkers will get warped in, with the Zealot also being warped in right now. Bring that all online. Good force fields once more. Trying to push up and push through, and his armies still hitting each other for a little bit longer. Still shoving our way up here. The Phoenix going to get some lifts off, doing a bit more damage. Swept up. Bang! Sentries, Stalkers taking damage straight away. It's going to be seeing a couple of extra Stalkers still warping in. Phoenix, Cybercore, Nexus building up as well. The Phoenix still trying to move through. Now going to knock the pylon down on the other side. Skillus has finally set up a counterattack after Sebastes has been so focused on the other side. Now Skillus is trying to break through over here, and I mean, Sebastes probably has to figure out what he wants to do. Loses the Prism as the Phoenix make a dive. We just got so many Phoenix. What a wacky game of PvP. Truly a little wacky game of PvP here. The Stalkers and the Immortals getting lifted, Disruptor 2. Do we have the damage output to push into this? I don't really know. Honestly, what's going on, if I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I think Skillus is going to have plenty, and again, he is pushing into the main base on the other side of the map, so he looks as though Skillus is just going to win out. GG. Yeah, Sebastes, I kind of agree, buddy. I don't know what really happened here, if I'm going to be honest with you. I don't really know what happened on this one. All right, we'll go into game number 2 then, guys. That was a very weird experience, to be honest with you guys. that was really something. I don't really know, like, what really. I just no way to get damage done. It's difficult to push up that ramp. And now we have game number 2. In the top left-hand side, the blue Protoss player here is going to be Skillus, taking on Sebastes in the bottom left in the yellow. That truly was one of the games of all time. Yeah, it was a PvP, apparently. It was a PvP. Probe is building, pylons producing. Just have our probe going to come across, drop down the gateway. Put that into position here. As we rally down toward the low ground, and we have the probie of Skillus moving across the map. So probe coming down to the south side. So journeying across as we get a couple of assimilators on the way. Get that set up. And yeah, see if we get double gate again here. I mean, Skillus already playing differently. No ramp on the natural, no low ground gateway. So immediately from him, this is a very different scenario to what we saw last time. Which is kind of just expected, like, you know, we're not expecting that to be a doubled up scenario because the map is different, the setup is different, and it is indeed just 2 gates from both players. As Skillus' probe will be the first to scout, so being nice and safe and quick to get over here to see what's going on. Gates in that Cybercore. Continue to build in. Just going to have ourselves pylons going through, the probes coming up. Probe around the back. Gonna come around and play some nibbling games. As we have the other probe over here. Gonna step forward, get up this ramp, and again step in to try and see a little bit of what else is going on. And yeah, we just take the chance to, like I said, get a couple nibbles off, some damage being done. Cybercore coming straight into play there as well. This probe is going to go running across the bottom right side. Two Stalkers from both. Nothing proxied. The low ground pylon here from Skillus suggesting he wants to get control on the low ground, although Robo comes up in the main. So we'll see if he still wants to expand off the Robo, or maybe he does add a gateway and gets aggressive here off the 3-gate Robo. There's still a possibility as well, and you just build a pile on low ground to make it look like you want to expand, and maybe you bait your opponent into feeling confident about it. Sebastes is about to throw his own expansion down in the next moment. Needs the minerals for it. As he gets to 400, though, it clearly looks as though he's going to get that done. Stalkers escape up the right. Other Stalkers come down the right. More Stalkers coming through. Robo Facility Gateway building up as well. It's going to have that warp gate coming through. We have ourselves the couple Stalkers firing on the other side. Stalker's going to nibble at other Stalkers here so we get a chance to do some damage. Really seeing the Stalker taking a few hits right away. So Stalker's going to hit the Stalker. It's actually not a bad start at all for Skillus, who just wins this fight massively. That's 2 Stalkers for 1. Early game that's pretty substantial. Like I say, he is adding on the 3rd gateway. These Stalkers over here from Sebastes are going to notice this as well, by the way. So he's going to recognize, okay, 3-gate Robo while I'm expanding. He attempts the recall, but actually loses both of the Stalkers he's recalling with, and he just says GG, because he doesn't love that he loses them. And obviously there's no way home for them because the other Stalkers were coming back. So Sebastes just gets the hell out of there and does not want to try his fortunes staying in the game. Sometimes it be like that, guys. Sometimes it be like that, especially in the world of PvP. Alright, guys, game 3. Skillus is up 2-0. Our 3rd map coming through here in a few moments. We got this ready to go. Are we going to have time for solo queue? Yes, absolutely. If it continues like this, yeah. I was pretty hopeful. I was pretty confident we were going to have time today. Basically, like, even if maybe, like, if every best of 5 had taken, like, a full hour, probably not. But, I looked at the series, and when I looked at the series, I was pretty confident that it probably would have time. So, yeah. So, yeah, we'll have time for solo versus queue today, which is nice. I want to do about 4 hours of stream today, so we do this, and then a solo queue best of 5 should bring us to about 4 hours-ish, give or take. Obviously, it could still be a fast solo queue series, right? But that's always hard to say. Let's give it 20 more seconds, guys. We'll start this game up. Alright, yeah, let's do it. In the top right side, we're going to have ourselves the blue Protoss player. It's going to be Mr. Skillus, who's up 2-0. Speedy start to the series for him, especially that second game going well. I actually do think those Stalkers going down for Sebastes was pretty damning for him. As we have in the bottom left side, Sebastes, a yellow Protoss. Up and away we go. Play lines. As we get this rolling. Sweet. Get it rolling. Couple gates coming through. Pro coming about. got that Cybercore on the way in. The probe coming across. Cybercore coming about. Just going to see the probes coming in as we settle ourselves into this. And obviously a bit of scouting, but most importantly, some proxying being done. Skillus going to get a cheeky little Stargate to the bottom right corner of the map here. So Skillus definitely keeping it interesting in this matchup. Stargate going straight down. And the probe coming across. Stargate then about to be done. Just going to get the couple stalkers coming through the warp gate building. Both those stalkers begin to hit the probie in return for a couple of moments. Some damage being done there. And we get all of this building through nice and comfortably. As we have Sebastes aware, at the very least, of this little proxy in the bottom right, so he is going to be able to prep himself correctly for that. As a couple stalkers step over, and they will start to hit the pylon and try and play the denial. Oracle is over halfway done already, so a good chance of actually getting out here. As these stalkers will turn some fire up towards the other couple of stalkers. Pylon still taking some hits, and that will be a denial. Okay, great start for Sebastes. He's going to stop his opponent from getting the Oracle out. Skillus doesn't cancel it for the money back. I imagine you will, though. Like, even if he gets the pylon there, by the time you get the pylon there and rebuild it, it would be such a late Oracle. Like I say, surprised he doesn't cancel it for the money back. Maybe as the robo finishes. Maybe he just doesn't have need for that money right now, so... But there's no way he gets that repowered, I don't think. There's a world where maybe you want the Oracle anyway, but you're at that point, by the longer that this goes, the more sense it just makes to cancel and just rebuild it if you ever do repower it. Hopefully he doesn't just forget that it's there. Sentry warps in, robo facility finishing soon. We're going to have our first immortal on the way shortly. It's going to really actually annoy me if this Oracle stays there, actually, because it's just in the production tab, and I keep looking at it, and I'm like, I keep wanting to click it because it's in the production tab, man. Like, he is actually going to bring the probe down. So he's actually going to make an effort to repower this and to get the Oracle out in the end. So that's the reason he kept that Oracle alive. Building, because he just wants to get it finished up. He will build the pylon in a moment and yeah, repower this, get the Oracle out, and then we'll have that at least to use in the near future. Alright, so the Oracle pops, and it's going to move across and go and have a peek to see what's going on. Does it have any surprise factor here? Yes, it does. Because Sebastes just doesn't assume the Oracle's ever going to be arriving. Couple probes going down. 3 workers, 4 workers getting dropped immediately. Blink on the way through. Just got that gateway. Probes in the assimilator continuing to come about. And Immortal building up on the side of Skillus, and we just have Stargate settling down in the corner. The Stalkers and the Sentries in the center as well. Some loads up a couple of Adepts for the moment. As our Stalkers will move through the middle of the map. Well, this is going to be a little shove from Sebastes. I mean, again, would have liked to have not lost some workers there, but now we'll get a chance to poke onto the natural of Skillus. We'll see if we can find damage with this Stalker Sentry army. Guess what? Back is back, though. What's all the Oracle active? It's the Adepts that come through for a couple of kills. The Oracle sits in that bottom left-hand corner, but the Adepts get a couple kills, takes some more attention away, and just reduces the power of this. And with the Hallucinate Immortal here, I don't think you can attack this as Sebastes. Like, he's going to try for it. He does not respect the second Immortal, which he does put force fields onto. So it kind of makes sense. He doesn't respect it because he thinks he's stopping it from dealing damage anyway. The real Immortal is the one that pokes forward and ends up going down. I mean, not a bad little poke forward, to be fair. You get rid of an Immortal. He's going to take the third base. will take the lead on that third base timing as well, with units that were successfully on the map just there. Obviously going to keep Skillus pinned into his natural a little bit longer at least. Looks like Sebastes is kind of done, which is absolutely fine. Gets rid of the Prism as well. 4 more probes going down. Oracle will maybe try for a couple, but the Stalk's going to make that scary. So what, 4 probes go down. It's going to be seeing the Stalker Sentry. Grabs a little bit right now. The blink advantage lets you be on the map as Sebastes. That's why the faster third Nexus makes a lot of sense for him. That's something he can truly get away with for the moment, if nothing else. Forge and Nexus both building on the side of Skillus. So bringing that up, there's the Forge and the Nexus on the side of Sebastes. Game's still pretty even overall. Sebastes, just like I say, trying to make use of the blink play. Gets himself another Immortal, removes some of the safety of the army that Skillus was kind of reliant on. Those Immortals, obviously in higher numbers, can be very painful, especially if you're Stalker heavy. And we are nowhere near seeing charge coming up. He's going to go back to the bottom right, finish off that pylon, and knock the Stargate down for real this time, I imagine. He's in no rush to go elsewhere, so you may as well just get rid of the Stargate here. Take that out of the equation. And it will begin to drop. There's a couple of Adepts step over, and they're going to go after some probes as well. +1 on the charge. Both continuing to produce the Stalkers back to the upper right. +1 attack coming from the Forge as well. Still got the charge coming up. +1 attack coming through. Nexus on the way in. As we take a few more moments then. Going to get that settled. For a couple of Adepts coming in. The probes get chased the other direction. So Stalker's still fighting. Looking to get after the Adept right now. Been nice and annoying from Skillus. Like he's had a lot of little different pokes. And that has really added up in this game. He gets 7 probes on that left-hand side of your screen killed off recently. It's a big deal. He's really keeping Sebastes down on economy despite Sebastes having a lot of the other controlling points of the map. 5 additional gates will be added on. Added Temple Archives on top of that as well. And we had ourselves into a nice little position here as the +1 attack charge all coming through. The Stalkers will get rid of a couple of hallucinations right in the front there as well. It's just going to knock those straight down. And the army Sebastes moves itself toward the upper right-hand side. Again, position onto the third base and start to put some pressure onto that. A couple of force fields coming down. The Immortal will get hit and hit hard at that as well. So, Immortal taking some serious damage. Stalker's taking some shots as well. Come back the other way. A couple of shots going through. A couple of probes going down. Still, Stalker's still trying to fight. Prism the Gateway is still building at those couple of extra high template in as well. The rest of this army collects back into the middle of the map. So Zealot Stalker joining and ready to make a push towards the upper right hand corner. So again, looking to attack on in. A couple of Zealots will warp in here from Skillus as well as Sebastes is going to make a push around the right side. We will see Zealots coming across. We are going to be seeing the Archon getting jumped on, the Battery getting jumped on as well. So Battery taking some damage. Zealots continuing through. The Archon gets killed. It's going to be seeing a couple extra Zealots coming around on the right side there. Stalker still fighting, looking to try and trade. Sebastes has the supply lead. Skillus has Immortal in the background, still a big factor. 2 Immortals and the Prism Micro available. It's a lot of Stalkers he has to get through though. Sebastes stepping back. He's double army supply. He steps away. I actually wonder if he could have stood in that and just continued to take that fight. Gonna swing around the right side instead. He's up 20 army supply though, so it's looking pretty good for him still. Just needs to keep on trading out with these Stalkers. The Archons are going to be a bit more of an issue, something a little bit tankier. Going to be more difficult for the Stalkers to get through. A couple of Zealots going to force a warp into the natural. Again, you can still see those Stalkers finding value, but is it quickly enough? 25 army supply lead, extra Zealots showing up. Might commit into this soon as he gets the Prism, so gets rid of micro potential there from Skillus on the front doorstep. 4th base building as Skillus' 4th has just finished up. Upgrades are pretty evenly timed at +2 apiece on the production tab. Sebastes swings around the left. I actually wonder if Sebastes could have just attacked more convincingly forward, and he's done a little bit of kind of movement with the army, which maybe wasn't necessary. Skillus has actually had time to get a few more tech units online, and the more that those tech units come up, the less likely is Sebastes' armies work, because he's not able to keep the unit, the tech unit count low, which is kind of your goal. And it's going to mean that Skillus' army gets better and better at being able to trade here. as this army progresses. And now that we've not done anything with these Stalkers for a while, I think the moment is passing for Seb. And I think that actually Skillus is going to start looking better and better in this game. Trying to hit the left side. Archons and the Immortals here. Again, Archons don't love chasing down Stalkers, but they're going to be great against that Zealot line. And if this is a straight-up fight, then you just don't win it as Sebastes. And now Skillus is going to start moving on the map because he's gotten what he needs. His army significantly looks better now, and he's going to start chasing even. Go back to that corner. A couple extra Archons showing up. We're going to start swinging into this. Attempting to morph into an Archon. So at least we've got Archons on Sebastes' side as well. So he has some tech units too. He's just getting overwhelmed heavily though. And it looks like Skillus is about to put the finishing touches to a 3-0 scoreline in this best of 5. As the Archons continue to push down, the Stalkers will try and step back through. +3 attack is going to come up with a couple probes as well. More Zealots warp in, and man, again, just kind of crazy that 2 minutes ago Sebastes was kind of felt like he was on the verge of just being able to fight through, and there was basically nothing left. He was double the army supply, and he just gave Skillus time. I mean, he tried not to, but I do think he moved back a couple of times when he could have kept pressing the issue. Obviously, Zealots are very tanky, and the more of those that got warped in, the more of an issue it was, the more difficult it became for Sebastes to really kind of get enough done. Yeah. GG's. GG's. Alright guys, so that wraps up the PvP, and that wraps up our first 4 matches of the day. Like I said before, I think we do indeed have time to we do have time to do the Solar versus Kira series I was talking about. Perfect. Alright, we will get ourselves over toward that then and get ready to rumble into Solar versus Kira. Alright, we'll get this going in a couple of moments then, guys. Get Solo Cure on the way as we look to round out today with some top tier Korean. Solo ZVT lately has been a lot of fun, so excited to see how it looks coming into this next matchup. Let us roll and see what we can do. Oh. He had it. I really think he had it as well, actually. I mean, to be fair, I think he's afraid of 2 Immortals, but I actually think he can just attack the Immortals and blink back one Stalker at a time. Because, like, it was 2 Immortals and 2 Stalkers, you know, like, they didn't have the defense and the other units that he needed. And if those Immortals go down, it keeps the door open for you to continue attacking because you get rid of those tech units as well, so... yeah, missed opportunity. Alright guys, we're going to call this one our last series of the day. Solar versus Cure coming up and coming at you as we get this ready to rumble. So, let's get into Solar versus Cure map 1. Going to be Magnatha to start us off here. Big map to start off for. Could be a big series. I mean, Solar and Cure, the way they play, definitely very macro-oriented, so maybe something to think on there. Let's jump into the action. In the top left-hand side from Falcons, we have our blue Zerg player. This is going to be Solar, and he takes on the red Terran in the bottom right corner. It is Team Liquid's Cure. This is best of 5, and it's not lower bracket. This one is from the winner bracket semi-finals. The winner of this gets to the top 3 of the mid-season playoffs at winner bracket final for a chance to play through there. Loser obviously will drop down to the lower bracket, but pretty deep in the lower bracket as well. I think if you're top winner bracket semi-finals, usually If you lose from there, you usually end up on the... I think you usually end up top 6 still, guaranteed, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, so you're guaranteed top 6 already. But obviously looking at guaranteed top 3 with a win in this series. There is pretty much like double prize money difference, I think, going from top 6 to top 3 already. So, yeah, big one as we get this set up. Just as we get started, guys, this will be our last series of the day. Hope you've been enjoying the cast. Thank you again to OSC for giving us some stuff to cast today. We appreciate you guys. And if you do enjoy what you're watching, again, as always, I ask you to take a moment to head on over on the YouTube channel. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you don't already. Would love it if you guys could do that for us. Would be amazing. Like I say, the likes and the subscribes, the interaction on YouTube really mean a lot. So if you can take a moment to scroll down and just give it a click on the like. If you're not subbed already, do consider subbing. Helps us a lot as well. Helps grow the channel, and the YouTube really likes seeing channels grow. So do check that out. And obviously, if you're on the Twitch, you can hit the follow button. All the usual ways to support exist as well. Obviously, guys, I'm not going to sell it too heavily, though. It's been a pretty chill day. So if you want to support, you can. Prime sub if you want to. We do have the sponsor to talk about, but we'll do a wrap-up of that at the end. But that is available too if you see the grab tap link in the Twitch chat. But for now, let's focus up on this TVZ best of 5. Final match of the day. A couple of Lings out already as the pull first from Solo looks to keep him very safe in the early stages, just in case of anything sneaky from Cure. But the reality is this is just a Reaper opening and a Marine to follow, so really nothing too sneaky from Cure at all. And we'll just see the Reaper heading up to the upper left-hand side of the map to get settled in the first few moments. So Reaper comes across, the factory coming through, Queen going to be right there to push that back. Chase that the other direction for a moment or two. Gonna pull back. Ling steps away. The Queen coming through. A couple command centers coming up. As we just have the factory building as well, so we get that straight into action just for a moment or two. And command center building up, and a couple of Marines will already be going after a little bit of a push out the front there. So again, just trying to see what we can get up to for a couple of moments early on. Drones building, Overlord and Link Speed are building as well, all of that coming up. And yeah, the two Marines actually aggressively out on the map. They put some pressure on the third hatch. There's an Overlord there they could have put some pressure on, but probably get to high ground. They're just going to pressure the third hatchery, and I guess this is just taking advantage of the fact that this is a slower Link Speed, so you're going to threaten units to come over there. The Reaper will try and help maybe as well. Or we just hit the hatch a couple times and we head home. I've got no idea what we were really kind of trying to aim to achieve with these Marines. He's just like, hey, I can move on the map, so I will move on the map. And he's like, I'm gonna let you know I can do it too. So I was like, of course you can. I have no Link Speed. And Q was like, yeah, but now you know it, huh? So I was like, okay, Q, chill out, bro. Like, it's not that exciting. Because I was getting excited about something about this, and nothing ever came of it. So that's how I feel too. It was just, this is a whole bunch of nothing going on. We'll see the two Hellions and a Reaper will take their chance to get to the front. A couple of Queens are going to be there. Turn those Hellions around immediately. The Reaper getting turned away. Again, Banshee and more Hellions in production. The Cloak coming up. Tech Lab on the way by. A couple of Queens are going to get grenaded to fall back for a moment or so as well. As we just have, yeah, the Hellions back around that right-hand side. A couple of Marines already going to work their way through onto this Overlord as well. That's going to fall in the next couple of moments. It just tries to get confirmation of what's up. Sees the Tech Lab barracks, sees the Starport Tech Lab and researching as well, so some good info. I'd say you can make a pretty good judgment call of where things are going from here, so nice to be able to see just a little update as to what that looks like. As yo, what's up, Panther ADW? Thank you so much for the 3-month resub on the Prime. Thanks for the games. No worries. Thank you so much for watching and supporting with the Prime sub. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for subscribing and supporting the channel and the StarCraft. Appreciate you. Queens gather, just going to sit on that right side. The Banshee getting turned away initially. We have committed to the Cloak, so it looks as though we're going to keep that Cloak upgrade. As you just drop a scan to get rid of these creep tumors, why not if there's nothing here to stop you? 4 creep tumors go down, 3 active ones. That is going to be, I mean, obviously the Queen's going to replace it, but it still slows the creep down because now you've got to replace the creep here rather than pushing the creep further forward. So It doesn't seem like a lot, but those are the kind of things that do add up in the grand scheme of things. Keeping that creep back and inviting you to kind of, inviting the opponent to keep on playing that kind of creep kind of game. A pretty big deal, as the Baneling Nest is about to finish soon. Bane Speed starts immediately from Solo, gets double Evo Chamber coming up. Solo's played a few different styles lately, but he has actually been very reliant on kind of ultras, actually. He's been playing a lot of lurkers and Lingbane Hydra, but like a lot of it ends up on ultras in the end. So wondering if that's maybe something we see here as we get through this early game into the mid game and start looking towards maybe even Hive Tech. I mean, it's a little early to start talking about that, but it's putting some ideas out there, especially because the map is big enough, right? Maganatha definitely invites longer games typically, so... Hellion pulling back across, just going to see the infestation pit coming through, the drones coming over. Need to produce as well. Queen, melee, carapace upgrades, all producing. Baneling speed over halfway done currently, and the few Hellions just going to zap a few of the Zerglings there as well. Push those back, as again, 1-1 upgrades and Stim Pack coming online with Marine Medevac coming up as well. Refinery will be halfway done. SCV's coming through. Couple reactors building, and we just have a lot of continuing to set up right now. The Hive is going to be on the way up in the main. I'll shove up the right-hand side from Cure. Hellion, Marines, the single siege tank. I mean, tank gets siege. Blings are going to run through. Can we get rid of those Banelings? They're going to threaten to connect, and we do lift into the Medevacs to escape. Medevacs load up, going to go around the top side. Head into the main base here in the next couple of moments. Smoke Roller is going to get into position. Just going to be seeing the Marines. Just going to have to pull back. Queen going to be right there. And again, the combat shield coming up. Overload speed coming through. The Lingbane gathering. Hive is about to be done. So we got that Hive completed up. Hatchery in the center here from Solo. Just going to put that straight back into place once more. Continue to gather ourselves for a few moments as the Marines and the Medevacs gather on up. Queen combo. It's going to go straight through. Get that Banshee. Film closing the combat shield will come into play. Again, adrenal glands, and there's that Ultra Cavern I've talked about already. Like I say, it wasn't too far in the future, was it? So Ultra is going to be the choice here from Solo as he gets set up initially and tries to get things working for himself. Yeah, it would be great if Solo won this, you know? Zerg guaranteed top 3. Actual have some Zerg games in the winner bracket still. Chance to have Zerg games deep in the tournament. Doesn't happen a lot of the time, so... kind of a little biased towards Solo. Yeah, no offense to Cure. I mean, it's not like there's Terran's guaranteed top 3 or anything right now either, but yeah, Solar has really been the lone Zerg in this winner bracket for a while, I think, if I'm remembering the bracket correctly. Let's just take a chance. Jump onto this hatchery. This forward base is going to go down. We're going to have a hatchery trying to come up over here, but there's going to be Marines behind it ready to get cancelled instantly, so that's probably a problem too, and Kyo with a good couple of moments. That said, Solo's about to get to his kind of strong point of this ZVT, which is going to have Ultras out. Solo on later game tech is usually an amazing player, and that is a run-by that had so much potential, and it's just F2'd back home. Wow. It was in the mineral line with no defense at all. This run-by said, I don't like SCV murder. Because it just turned the hell away. It saw a completely defensive mineral line, and it was like, let's go. Let's go back home. No, let's go and kill things. Well, things are going to go again, and whoa, what a surprise. There's actually unity here this time. Like I say, those opportunities don't open themselves every day. It's a big missed chance there from Sola. As the Ultras. I mean, I get it, right? He panicked in the moment. These units showed up. They looked to cancel that hatchery. It makes sense what happened, just a little bit unfortunate it came in such that way, in that sort of way. Finish off those rocks in the center, and we will open up that space for units to move through. So a great game on this map between Bjorn and Sola yesterday in the WardiTV October qualifiers with Some fun stuff happening on the gold base is being taken eventually as well. A lot of the base in the map were taken. Those golds were taken as well. That watchtower left alive, allowing us to have watchtowered bases. It was a very fun game. Solomon in general played some great games yesterday. It was very fun to watch as both Banes connect through. The Ling Bane Ultra will make a dive down to the bottom right side here. Ling is going to step by. Just going to be seeing the Widow Mine going off onto a few Lings. Tank is going to get picked away at. The Widow Mine is still going to get chomped on. The Ling Ultra going to come moving through, and SCVs are going to be in trouble as well. There's a lot of cleanup on that right side. Ultra can't break through onto the natural, but on the right side we succeed, but we've got a drop in the main base, looking to get a kill on the Ultra Cavern. Left side base goes down as well. The Bane's showing up here and blowing up these Marines are just a little late to the party. Ultra Cavern has died, and that's kindness. Was that kindness? No, it is the anabolic synthesis that gets... Sorry, bless me. That gets delayed via the cancel. Sorry, I didn't know if I was going to sneeze a second time, so just took a moment. Ling Bane Ultra continuing through. So 39 drones are now dead in this game, 22 SCVs dead in return. Just going to have our Ling Ultra on the right side looking to come and keep on denying this location. Both players taking heavy losses here. Solar down to a 55 drone economy, Hero on a 61 SCV economy. On the top side, a few Marines going to get rid of a few more drones and keep Solar's economy in the bin. I don't know if Hero's army is good enough to fight. Like 8 Marauders is basically his army comp against Infesta Ultra. And otherwise, just Marines, and just Marines don't really do it. That one Ultra from the top side means it's going to be a lift and back away. That would have been a disaster if the Infesta showed up and found the fungal on that. That would have been a lot of dead Terran. As Solo, does he want to run forward and basically try and stop these units unloading? He stopped to chomp on that planetary, which does keep it in the sky, which means that we're not going to get a 4th base again just yet. Kira is not far from being back to being a 5-base Terran, which is what's terrifying for Solar. Like, Kira is a moment of peace and quiet away from getting that, but that's a massive fungal on the left side. The Marines all getting caught on the right side too, and Ultras are feasting. The Banes as well getting some good connections on the back of those fungal growths. And that is going to be the kind of fight you want here as Solar, to keep your units in good numbers and to get some very efficient trades in a stage of the game where your economy is absolutely lacking. Clustering Melee and Carapace coming up from Solar. The Groove Spine's on the way through. Going to get a Liberated Siege up on both sides of this. The Ling Ultra still gathering. A couple of Libs coming through. Add those Widow Mines on. And some extra Baneley's going to start morphing in as well. I think it's actually going to get a jump onto this Planetary Fortress. Just going to force that to lift up into the sky once more. The Marine Marauder coming through to, again, play cleanup on that one. Nicely done for the moment. The Bio coming back in the center. Just going to see a little bit of a chase through. Sekiro still maxed out. Sekiro is looking good. About to be 3-3 as well. That said, I mean, Zerg is not far behind on the 3-3. So adds a few Hydras in play. Do we have a Lurker-Den? No, so he's actually just adding some Hydras in. So let's see what they can add to this equation. Maybe just some extra anti-air against some of these first Liberators and so that are coming up. Solar is still a 6-base Zerg player, but like I say, we're not far from the Terran becoming a 5-base Terran again. This base is finally going to become a planetary. This base is stopped by just a couple of Lings. Theo again has the army supply to push around as he wishes on this map. He's going to go top left, an area of the map here that doesn't have a lot of creep spread to it, so you can kite in, you can kite off of creep. That will help you a lot. Widow Mines not doing a lot initially. Ultra going to soak up a couple of those mines as well, which is important. Fungal hitting a lot of the medevacs, but there's not really a follow-up on that. The other Fungals did land, and man, the Bio army does get kind of rinsed in the end. I mean, there's a lot that goes down here. The Ling's obviously going to be good against what is kind of a Marauder heavy count there as well. There's not going to be as much DPS with Marauders left over than there would be with Marines. Infesta, unfortunately, going to get caught making his way back. And Solar still 144 supply and just still down on supply and can't really seem to regain control. If Solar had like the 15 extra workers he lost at one point, then he'd be, you know, maybe right back on track still, but that's obviously just not the case. As we have the Bio regathering. Again, planetary setting in the center of the map. A couple of SCVs move over. This orbital is going to move one way. Where is this going, actually? I don't know where that orbital is going. I think that's misrallied. This command center is going to go over here. Is it rallied? Oh, it's rallied onto an SCV or something. Okay, well, that's fun. Skillus is going to grab a couple units. Solo try and keep this game busy with the counterattacks. As it comes through, going to get that Marauder as well, so able to take that down and then escape once again back up to the top right corner of the map. Bio pulls over the right side. The Liberator is set up. A lot more Lingbane Ultra coming through the center. There's a couple of Infestors want to get involved as well, obviously. Again, the Marauders getting surrounded by Lings multiple times over feels good. Solar is very close to being maxed out again, so definitely in with a chance of this game for sure. Ghost Academy about to finish. We're finally looking to make that Ghost transition as Cure. The reason you're not seeing Ghosts as quickly in games right now is because those that light tag is just making them very vulnerable to the Bane. So in games like this where the Zerg plays quite aggressively, switching to Ghosts too soon can be a very dangerous thing to kind of pull off. Especially in a game that's scrappy like this and you can't just sit back and get a bunch of Ghosts all at once because your economy is not allowed for it. And that's why you might be like, well, why the hell hasn't he had Ghosts before now? But it's more easily said than done. I mean, it's easy to say because you think Ghosts are amazing, they deal with everything. They do, they are amazing units, but it's a little trickier to transition into them than it has been for a long time. Ultra's still jumping forward. Good split on these Lings, trying to absorb some of the mines before the bigger units take the shots. Mines do start working their way through the Ultras in the end. Solo's flipped the supply into his favor. 70 workers to 55. Obviously, the last couple of fights have been very good for him. And again, you're keeping Cure down at a point where he can't really afford to build Ghosts, despite the Ghost Academy now being available. That Fungal completely whiffed, didn't hit anything. Maybe the mine that died instantly after. So many of these Medivacs low as well. If you can just get the Hydras on them for a few moments, you get rid of that healing potential, and you maybe just have a way to close this out. Solo's really sending this right now. He's trying to move through. Ultra is absorbed a lot of the damage. Oh, the Baneling's getting involved, and they get surrounded. Now these Hydras will get rid of the Orbital, even if it lifts up. A Hydra there maybe could have target fired down a full low HP Medivac. Now that base does go down. That's actually genuinely a fairly big deal. We have other bases that could float across, but we're not base rich as Cure, you know? He doesn't have CCs for days like Terrans do a lot of the time, because this game has been scrappy. It's been trade heavy. So yeah, that's definitely a thing to think on here that's not kind of normal, considering the typical state of this matchup. Is that's a nice Widowmine shot though. Solo loses a lot here, especially that Ultra. And then you land the Fungal Growth of the day, maybe? That's a massive one, and the units are all going low. The Hydras are allowed to take this fight now in the Concave. Marauders left over, running with two very empty Medivacs behind them. We try and fight again here. Widowmine's gonna go off into the Hydras even for some splash damage, but we chase through, and once again, Cure just eating the Fungal when it actually looked like the fight went well for him. Suddenly he eats a massive Fungal and opens the door for Solo to maybe step back into this once more. And that's another Fungal available already. I mean, the other Infestors are kind of drained of energy still. These Medivacs have no energy, right? So there's just no healing available. And Cure is so poor that he doesn't even really have much of a way to afford new Medivacs. Fungal right now might actually be looking to get kills on these units because, like I say, no healing. And Banes are going to roll in. Those SCVs are in trouble, and that's absolutely worth getting rid of a bunch of SCVs quickly here. These Infestors should step away, though. Like, they're very easily chased, and we do not have a lot of units to, like, support these. We lose all these Infestors, we're in trouble. It's a very low amount of Terran that's going to chase it down, but it is still Terran that can chase it down, and that's what matters. If there's not a lot of Zerg coming as reinforcement, then you got to be super careful there as Cure 77 supply, Solo 121, but I think Solo has run the tug of war on Maganatha and looks to claim game one of this best of 5. Orbital Command in trouble. The SCV's trying to pull back. Fungal Growth lands on the bio. A couple of Banelings connect. Banes continue through. Hydra's getting forward. We're going to have ourselves the Hydra's getting in after the last couple of Marauders here, looking to play cleanup. And that is going to be it, I think, for Cure, who is down on he's half the army supply now, and he just doesn't have much of anything. He finally gets 2 new Medivacs. We could have done with those a little while earlier. Solo even going to find the money to get a new Ultra on the way. Obviously, his bases have not been touched in a hot second. Solo is going to close out game number 1. And Solo's ZVTs are so fun to watch at the moment. Like, they are so fun to watch. I'm having an absolute blast watching this guy play StarCraft 2. He's just given us such entertaining games every time he touches the ZVT matchup. Super fun to watch. Great stuff. Hell yeah. Alright, Solo. Cure delivering for game 1. We'll give it 2 minutes, guys, because I gotta run some ads, unfortunately. But we'll get into game 2 here in a second, as we're going to be looking at Persephone for the second game, and for Cure to try and bounce back, while Solo will have a 1-0 lead for himself at the moment. Oh, stretch it out. Stretch it out. Alright, where are we at? Minute 30. Let's get ourselves hosted into game 2. So Persephone going to be the map here. In the OSC mid-season playoffs, winner bracket semifinals. We have ourselves in the top left corner. Up 1 after an exciting and back and forth opening game. Able to get the victory in his favor. In the end, it is going to be Solar. Takes on the red Terran in the bottom right left corner of Persephone. It is going to be Team Liquid's Cure. Game number 2. As we get set up. Again, Persephone, our map. Couple drones on the way, hatch building. Barracks in the SCV coming up as we take a couple moments. Overlord of Solar heading down to the bottom left hand side. Hatch, gas, and pool just all coming through. How come Solar is this good and sometimes so bad? Quotation marks, and you still love him. I mean, it's a style of play, right? Like sometimes, like Solar hangs on by a thread in like a lot of his games until a certain point, and so sometimes if the other guy just gets that little bit of a better edge than him, that thread gets cut, you know, and then he just falls, you know. So he's not hanging on at all; he's just falling. But it is fascinating. I've never known a guy to be so unable to kind of have a solid early and mid game in a matchup, but be able to be so good late in the game. Like, it's funny when Solar is ahead in the early and mid game in ZVT, it happens so rarely, but when he is, man, the games aren't even close, you know, because he gets into the later stages in such a comfortable position. That's just something that never happens for him. Like, he's so used to scrapping it out until lurkers are available nowadays, even just when ultras are available as well. It goes after a couple of lings right there. We go back and forth. The drone on the other side, and we have Link Speed and the Queen still building up. Add some drones on, commencing the factory reactor, building on through for the moment. And the Queen gets a couple shots to push the Reaper back the other way. Again, Link Speed building, couple command centers coming up. OSCV's come back through. It's going to be getting settled for a little bit of time. Again, lag coming up, couple drones on the way. Got like Queen coming through. Two Zerglings coming down as the Reaper. That's going to pull back a couple of Hellions there to zap the Lings as well, turn them around, and the Banshee and the Hellions coming through. Add a Marine up as well. Nothing too wild early, obviously with the triple command center from Cure. Gonna get the cloak on the Banshee. He's going to say, we're just going to build a cloak with this Banshee, but nope, gets that started as well. Gets that underway, and the lair is going to be halfway done from Solar. So it is, you know, a faster lair here from him. No Baneling Nest on the way either. Taking gases. Are we about to see some mutas? Our muta's back, man. Our muta's back in the ZVT. Is this a thing? I feel like it's becoming a thing. I feel like it's becoming a thing. That not far from being done. Drones, Lings, and Queens coming through. The lair completes. The Spore Crawler builds. Taking out the little Reaper Hellion push around on the bottom side. We get rid of a Creep Tumor. The Spire does indeed begin. I love it. You know, the more we see of Lingbane Muta, the better StarCraft 2 is. It's such a good composition. It's so fun to watch Lingbane Muta versus... It's so fun to watch Lingbane Muta versus Bio. Probably one of the best compositional wars of all time. Hellion coming back through. Overlord chilling. Again, a couple engineering bases coming about. Spire in the Bane Nest coming into play as the drones and the OVs get set up. Hellions want to try and get a little bit of action on the left. It's going to get through for a Creep Tumor there. Maybe not the best, but the most classic. No. You think Lingbane? What's better than Lingbane Muta? I mean, DVZ in general is very fun compositionally, but Lingbane Muta is very, very fun. So a Banshee actually gets a Queen in the main base. There is a little bit more tug of war sometimes nowadays with like Lingbane Hydra sometimes. I think sometimes just scrappy ZVT in general, just no matter the composition, but Mutas kind of make ZVT scrappy, right? Like, Mutas stop ZVT from getting solidified into that kind of ghost phase a lot more. So, yeah, maybe that's what it is. One upgrades, the Sim coming through, a couple of Queens are going to be firing. Hellion's taking some damage as the reactors continue up. And again, the +1 flyer attack. And the Bane speed coming through, extra Lings coming up, the 10 Banelings will morph. On the other side of the map, the Mutas are already showing up, and they're going to have a not a bad start at all. 4 SCPs already down, and that's going to grow now as they get into the main base as well. So multiple more SCVs going down at this stage. Marines don't have stim just yet, so it's not going to be super easy to get on top of those Mutas. And so, honestly, very successful starting point here. It's going to be 9 SCVs now. Obviously, both Banshees died as well. And we actually have some Hellions still out the front there. He's going to find a chance onto this low ground. No anti-air nearby apart from a singular turret. One on upgrades, +1 a flyer attack again, Bane speed coming through. Trying to get some of the Hellions, doesn't quite make it, but what Solar is doing for himself, he is creating himself a lot of map control, a lot of safety. Creep spread can push out safely because the Hellions are being held back as well. We have ourselves, well, I mean, Bane speed about to be done from Solar. He's behind on upgrades, but not so terribly far behind. Honestly, I've seen faster Muta openings be a lot worse in terms of upgrade timings. He's yet to lose a Muta as he finds a couple of freebie Marines just in the middle of the map and some other trailing Marines right there as well. Still yet to lose a Mutalist though. Good job so far. Finally upgrades, flyer attack coming through the Mutas on the other side. Looking for a depot again, just going to keep poking for whatever they can get. It does open the door for Cure, pushing up the right side at the moment though, looking to try and get in over there. That's an Overlord that gets killed. So Solar will find himself supply blocked against this as the Lingbane joins up and just has a second or two. And will get that 4th base established. Cure backed away, did not send it in that position. Like, you know, he maybe could have done. Does not commit to that just yet. The rest of the bio gathering back together right now. Running back up over here. 2 Hellions morphing into Hellbats, and the Marine tank begins to make a move over to the right-hand side. Still making their way down to the bottom left-hand corner. Drilling claws coming through, the 2 upgrades all coming about. The Marine tank is continuing to build. We are just going to be seeing the Hellbats joining up together as well. So all of that coming through, the Infestation bit coming by. Mutalist is going to get rid of a couple of SCVs. Drilling claws halfway done, 2 upgrades coming about. Factory is about to finish. Our additional Marines coming over. Marine tank Hellbat just gathering up right there, and those few meters overhead still looking to get a little bit more done as the Marines are going to fight. The Queens take damage, the Banes and the Lings are ready to roll forward. A couple of Marines already getting struck. Hatchery is genuinely in some trouble right now as in we go. Ling, Bane, Muta making a dive through onto the rest of this. Bang, bang, bang. Siege tanks getting blasted. One of the tanks actually stays alive, and that's scary if more units come through on the ground, but we do get rid of the Mutas in the end. Where the reinforcements at for Solar. Not here just yet, and this hatchery is gonna drop, and the 4th base will fall. Actually gonna, okay. Transfusion save it, and we dive in, and with the drones surrounding and the mutas helping, we actually chase it away. What? 14 dead drones in the game, and Solar saves the I thought that 4th base was absolutely going to die. The transfusions were completely clutch at the end, and just about gets enough to defend. What a defense in the end from Solar. Felt like he was in a lot of trouble. Somehow still only lost 4 mutas this game as well. And he's on his way up to Hive. And that's going to open the door for even more tech to come online. And as the mutas control the map, if Solar can truly get up to Hive tech with 5 bases online, like, he's looking good. Like, he's getting to where Solar wants to be in a game of ZVT, quite frankly. You know, he's getting to exactly where he would like to be in amongst all of this, as we just see the bio coming through. The Marines are going to stim, medevacs overhead. This hatch will go down, but that's a very allowable base to get cancelled, although you just let it get killed, so a little bit of money lost. Marine mine on the left side will pull back down the left as well. The Muta's going to see it moving away, so just using those as kind of information gatherers. They provide a lot of good info there and let you know what the situation is and where things are at. Ultra Cavern coming up, Adrenal Glands and 2-2 upgrades all coming out. And Marine Medevac coming over to the right-hand side currently as the Marines stim back over toward the left and chase the Mutas away once more. Stim straight through. The couple queens going to get jumped on. One queen goes down, second queen being chased big time. Creep tumors are starting to drop as well. The Ling Bane wants to keep on rolling. When I say rolling, I really do mean rolling. To try and get through there. The Marines are going to split. The couple creep tumors still dropping. 3-3 on the way. I'm going to turn around with the rest of the Bioforce, pushing the Mutas back into the middle of the map. And Solar going to sit here, still trying to just cut off reinforcements, right? Threaten this side. Depot down opens the way for Ling Bane to run into this mineral line as well. So just trying to find whatever he can at whatever corner is available. Solar just taking what he can get. And that's what you got to do with Mutas, right? Because they're so good at finding the openings, and a lot of the time what you can get is just a little bit of something here or just a little bit of something there. And he is making do, and he's doing great. Widowmine and Reactor in this main base recently. 2 new add-ons just starting to build. Could easily cancel those if he wants to. Gets at least 1. The Reactor on the starport lives at least, but Cure currently supply block 2 off those depot losses, yet to replace them. They're still not on the production. Oh, sorry, they just finished up, my apologies. So he just finishes up new ones, all calls down supply. I think he might have finished them up when I was just looking elsewhere. No! The Thors are stuck in the main! Oh no, that's actually 2 major units from Cure that are just not where they're meant to be. So Thor's stuck in the main base, unable to join the fight as they cannot free themselves. The Sim City is not Thor's best friend. Yeah, that factory's in a horrible place for Thors to pop out of. Makes a lot of sense. And Cure needs to recognize, like, he needs to realize, like, hey, where the hell are my Thors? I've been building these things. Why aren't they here? Get back to that main base, check in on them, and be like, oh, right, free them and get them in this army, because, boy, do you need them Thors to help you out as the Mutas try to take a vacation over the Sea of Marines. Unfortunately, it's not a good time of year to be traveling there as a Mutalisk, and they get shot down upon arrival. More pressure forwards, a little bit of creep spread here to utilize as Solar. Good splits against the mines. The mines do nothing initially. Honestly, probably did more to the Terran than they did to the Zerg. And now we're surging onto this army. Ultra's coming through and looking to join the fray. They are Kindness plated. They're not +3 carapace, but with Kindness, they're going to be pretty strong against what is just a Bioforce right now. Cure has not found the chance to transition into anything better against these Ultras apart from just having a good Marauder count. And that's just not working out against every other part of this. I mean, the Medevacs all go down. The Ultra's still chasing. These Ultras could kind of pick and choose their fight right now. The Mutas are going to go after the Siege Tank. Widowmine's going to get to maybe help against these Ultras in the end. The Mutas are still hanging back, and Scylla decides that is enough. But he's maxed out 200 supply against a 140 supply Terran, and Solar could not be looking better right now here in Game 2 of this best of 5 on Persephone. We're about to be done. 3-3 upgrades, the additional Ultras all coming up as well. We have high-sec order tracking on the way. Have Neo Steel Armor on the way. Because that's the kind of stage of the game we're at, but realistically we're behind. And Cure, he will remax. Obviously he is trying to take a 5th base. I mean, get to 5 bases and Cure is always going to be somewhat alright. cancels this hatchery on the right side. The extra Bane's coming through. Marauder coming up as well. I will try and chase up. The Ultra's going to get pushed away. Muta's flying back out over that left-hand side. Going to see a couple more creep teamers going down. Still got the Lings coming about. +2 flyer attack still on the way up right here as we continue by. We're going to run through. Big Ultra run through right now. Bio just jumping on top of all of this. The Thor's in trouble. Okay, the Thor's actually going to hold on. Look at the Thor's making an appearance and making a difference. So has to go back to the building board for this one and get going from there. Yeah, around to the left side, just going to be seeing chance to come through, a couple of creature teamers coming over. Fire pushing through, Lingbane Ultra going to come about. Just going to be seeing Thor going to get jumped on, just going to be seeing that getting cleaned up. Just going to be seeing the Muta Ultra continuing through, Marauder's taking damage. And those Ultras still trying to just chase their way down to the bottom. Let's just have the look forward of mine shots going off. Ultras coming through. Chasing. Q doesn't have the supply to stay in this, guys. This is just going to get overhead. Medevacs dropping. GG gets called, and that is going to be Solar taking a 2-0 lead in the best of 5. Alright, we're going to go into game number 3, guys. I think we can just go straight into it. I'm looking at the ad timers. We actually have plenty of time for once on the ads. Doesn't always happen. I think we can get going. Golden Aura coming up. Is this Zerg so much better because of balance or something else? I wouldn't say so much better. These are pretty close games. Just Solar is tipping the scale in his favor and eventually winning out. I mean, he's won out convincingly at 16 and 19 minutes, but like the 10 to 12 minutes up to those in these games have been pretty back and forth. Kyo's had a lot of opportunities. He's just not dealing well with Solar getting to the tech. Once Solar hits that later game tech, Kyo is not getting transitioned. He's out on the map. He's getting caught in fights. And he should have won game 1 if he didn't eat so many bad fungals. There was a couple of fungals that were pretty essential for Solar in that first game. Obviously, maybe the game goes on and you get fungals elsewhere later, but there's a couple that really opened the door for Solar to win the game. And this kind of crazy, kind of busy game is not really something that Kyo excels in as well, as a kind of point of view from his playstyle. Kyo is a very methodical Terran. He's not a super fast Terran. You know, he does things in the way he likes to do them. He's very good. He's very efficient with his movements, but the more chaotic it gets, the more busy it gets, the more he is going to struggle. Yeah, the more he is then going to struggle to basically just kind of play the game, right? Like, he is not good the faster and the crazier and the more hectic the game gets typically, so... And not that he's not good, it's just like that is his weakness in comparison to other players who kind of thrive on chaos, you know? One pull coming up, couple drones, queens all on the way. And centering the orbital building, the Reaper coming by. Just gonna see the Overlord heading to the bottom side. Reaper escapes to the top. Queen's on the way, drone coming through. Have a factory in the command center building. The Reaper will get to the natural. And we'll get there. Reaper gets turned around. Yeah, the factory going through reactor building CC on the way up. Gets away. Obviously doesn't get that drone. Sporecrawler had plenty of time to come down. Would have been a pretty big blunder for Sol to lose the drone. Not the end of the world, obviously, just unnecessary. You know, a loss that wouldn't have been required at all. So, the expected defense basically coming in. And just going to be seeing a couple of grenades. And these two Marines show up again. So, Q, what do they do? Like, are they scared? They're going to stay with the Reaper this time? I'm just wondering what he feels like he's achieving by bringing these Marines across. Like, it's interesting. Like, don't get me wrong, they can be here. They're just not doing anything. The grenade goes down. Queens get bopped back. Marine's going to get after the Overlord and clean that out. Will go down already. Liberator and two more Hellions still coming up. The Lings and the Queens coming through. Link speed coming about. Overlord's building. On the left hand side, a couple of Hellions getting chased again. Queen's taking a bit more damage there. Let's just have... yeah, Queen's still building up. Extra drones coming around. Reaper and the Hellion coming back over. Just going to be seeing the Zergling taken out already. Reaper and Hellions continuing through. Queen's going to be there. Again, Reaper and Hellions going back the other way. Gonna step up, a couple of creep screamers coming down. It's gonna have our Hellions and the Marine coming about. Stimpak coming over. The factory moves over to the side and we're gonna drop the tech lab into position. And it's that fast lag coming up. Sol's liking the mutas from that last game, looking to bring them back right here and get back to them right away. As the Hellions do break through, as they're going to get in, so they actually get a pretty good connection on some drones initially. So we lose already 4 drones, 5 drones and 8 Lings. Drones should go and get away from here. We're going to lose all the Hellions. It's some lost mining time. You see the Zergling's able to get there. The Hellion is going to go down. Tank building up, 1-1 upgrades coming through. Stimpak also building. Tank's gonna step out the front, the rest of the Queens gather up. Just having now 1-1 upgrades and the combat shield coming through. The extra barracks coming by, the armory dropping into that natural. The SCVs. It's going to continue to gather together. One coming through, balance speed coming about. I'm just going to be seeing the Queens settling onto the left-hand side. We have about Marine Tank coming forward. Just going to be seeing the Lingbane Queen all continuing by. The melee upgrade still building, and this is a push from Cure. Looking to take advantage of some of those kills early. Don't get me wrong, like, he got some workers, but he also gave up all of his Hellions. That means Solo can have very comfortable map control with the creep spread. Pushing through. The Ling is just going to go in after the rocks here. Marine Tank gets to the top side. And we have the cancels on the hatchery. Our team is going down. The rocks will get nibbled at by the Zerglings. Going after the Marines. Now the Marine Tank is going to be taking some more damage. Just going to be seeing the Lings going to wrap around. We are going to see the Banes connecting into the Marines right there, and that is going to be them forced back for the moment. The hatchery will come through over on the other side. And can we continue to push through this or not? It's going to be our question in the next few moments. Trying to fight the queens there. One queen already going down. A couple more shots coming through. The Adrenaline Claws, the 2 upgrades coming about as well. Marines are going to take their chances to come around here. Upgrades and that drilling claws all coming through. Just going to see the free Marines gathering out to that right-hand side. And again, the Ultra Cavern coming up into place right now. And then gathering, just going to see the Marines and the Medivacs on the top side. Back to the right, Marines into the center. Again, the Ultra Cavern going to be here soon, and that's where things have gotten dangerous for Kira in the previous games. Right now, he's ahead in supply. Like, things look good for him, but we're approaching the point where Solo is at his best and has been in this series. Let's go down. A couple of them being picked up already. The bio continuing to come across. A couple of Vipers will be on the way as they start up. Hydroden is still producing on in. T2 upgrades, Adrenal Glands all building. Ling Bane wanting to get through the center as well. The bio to the left side. We'll get rid of another couple of creep teamers. And as you see the Water Mines connecting, the Zerglings getting blasted just for the moment as well. Yeah, nice little connection, a nice fight, using that ramp to kind of force Soul to choke up, running in after him. You're doing the right things and putting pressure on the map while he can. It's going to get tougher, like I say, with the Ultra Cavern out. Right now, though, he's got 2-2 upgrades to 1-1. Adrenal Glands is not done, although that will obviously help Solar in a second. 2-2 to 1-1 is still a pretty big deal. Playing up Bane Hydra coming through. Medivac's going to boost in the main base. Double Spore here, only one hitting. So that Medivac's probably going to be fine. Actually do lose the other Medivac, though. Funky little moment or so. Well, Ling Bane Hydra continues out as we have the pushback on the left side. A couple new Widow Mines showing up, though. Kyo really wants to push this position. He has got a 4th base in location, yet to really mine from it. Needs to get some SCVs there as these Lings find the 3 Marines in an awkward spot. We'll be able to get rid of those. A +2 Carapace being finished does help. Oh, Viper's just going to find the Parasitic Bomb, so a little bit of spellcasting from them. In the end, we actually have started up a Lurker Den, and so we're not going to get ourselves to that Ultra Cavern at all, but instead we're just going to get ourselves towards Lurker, so just going to play Lingbane Hydra into a Lurker switch eventually, and Solar coming through with this, looking for a little bit more of a feisty kind of moment or two than expected. He's really playing into kind of just, again, mid-tier tech for the moment, and then, like I say, going to swing towards the Lurkers and try and hold on out here on Golden Aura. More Banes morphing. As the 3-3 upgrades build through. One more units coming across. The Zerglings run around on that right-hand side. They're just going to join up together. The Medivac boosts back in from the left. And we'll see all those units coming around. I mean, here is being cleaned up on the map, right? So Solo's done a great job of shutting him down and kind of picking him off. And now we're in this position where the next stage of this is essentially going to be a question mark of can Cure kind of get back to being aggressive. Like, he's still got an army supply lead, but things are going to start getting much tighter as the lurkers come through. One single Baneling there chases that SCV line away. There's a few Lings left. There's units there, so the Lings will not get the chance to show up. And Bane going to start running forward. Couple Widowmine shots going off. The Bio Army coming over. They're just going to go down. The Parasitic Bombs good to pick their way through a lot of those Medivacs already. Fire going to be there. Widowmine shot goes in after the Overseers. The Lings continue to run forward as well. More Widowmines connecting. I'm just going to be seeing a lot of the Ling Bane continue to be pushed through as well. Solo actually taking a really good fight, honestly. I mentioned that Lurkers on the way up. We're not even going to get to the point of Lurkers here. Like, they just weren't needed. Incredible fight for Solo as he wins that one out. And now he does have the chance to build Lurkers if he wants to kind of take advantage of this win and maybe go and get aggressive across the other side of the map. Madness. 3-3, about to finish up. Ghost Academy, about halfway done. Ghost Academy will be finishing shortly. Tsunami to the top right side, looking to get through the top corner, looking to get through over toward this hatchery here. Ling Lurker joining up, gonna get the Lurkers burrowed into place already. And he's just going to run straight headfirst into those. That ain't it. On the other side of the map, we're trying to hold on. The problem is, now we're up onto Lurkers and Cure. He's been slow to transition to Ghost all day, and this is another time where the Ghost Academy is ready, but he's not finding the chance to build the Ghost up, apparently. Thanks for I say Bomb, Blinding Cloud combo, making use of the Vipers. Ling Hydra might be enough to overwhelm this location. Cure supplies not hanging on at all, and guess what just showed up? It's the Lurkers! This just got worse. What you hear is Cure, and that is a 3-0 from Solar as he comes in and he dominates in this series. 3-0 in the best of 5. Solar is going to be moving to the upper bracket final. Wow, what a series from Solar. A lot of scrappiness, a lot of kind of having to bring himself back from difficult positions. Very nicely done. Alrighty, guys, so that is going to wrap us up for the contest here today. Thank you so much to OSC for having us. So we will be back with more OSC mid-season playoffs. We're going to be probably doing that on Saturday after the WardiTV October Group C. Group B, sorry. So that'll be Saturday. We'll come back and we'll do the next few matches from the OSC mid-season playoffs, which will feature Bjorn versus Max Packs as well. But that for us is it today. So thank you so much for joining us, guys. I appreciate you all hanging out. Again, today is the last day of our sponsorship with GrabTap, guys. We mentioned this a lot the last couple of days, but if you would like to support !GrabTap in the Twitch chat, you can head on over here. And the TLDR is you can basically play games to support the stream. So head on over to !GrabTap in the Twitch chat. You can pick any of these games, PC, mobile, Android options available. Just to pick one at random, let's go for the Game of Vampires. If you want to play Game of Vampires, you, by installing the game, will simply already be supporting the stream because you're going to be getting involved. So check that out, and then as soon as you create a role, you earn some points, and those points mean prizes. The more points you earn, the more WardiTV support we get, and you can also turn your points into rewards in the reward shop as well. That is GrabTap if you want to check it out on the Twitch channel. Today's the final day of the sponsorship. Rewards will continue to carry on for a while, but today's the final day for like new users to be counted towards the sponsorship goals. So if you want to support the stream for free, it's an amazing way to do it because we get paid in cold hard cash for you guys taking part on the GrabTap page. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you all tuning in. Obviously, like and subscribe on the YouTube, follow on the Twitch, and do all the other wonderful things to support if you can, such as Prime subscribing and all the rest. I appreciate you all dropping by and hanging out. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. As, that's going to be it for me. So I will see you guys tomorrow for more StarCraft 2. Tomorrow we're back with the OSC King of the Hill. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for that. I'll run some ads on the outro. And when we're done, I'll host someone up on Twitch, on YouTube. I can't host, but there will be a new YouTube video up in a couple of hours if you want to check that out. Yesterday's YouTube video did terribly. I have no idea why, but Raynor Classic was our worst performing YouTube video in 2 weeks, so apparently no one liked Raynor anymore. Today's upload will be Raynor Manor in a couple of hours, so check that out if you get the chance to on the YouTube. We appreciate you. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us and listening. And the ads are already playing because I couldn't hold them back any longer on Twitch. So I will see you guys later. Thanks so much, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.